There's an old saying that goes, baseball is more like a game, more than a game. Easy for me to say. It's like life played out on a field. And if that's true, and we all know life's not fair, we can extrapolate that neither is baseball. Some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. And sometimes, like on August 4th, 1993, you're Robin Ventura getting beaned. And sometimes you're 46-year-old Nolan Ryan punching Robin Ventura 6 times in the face, and you stay in the whole ball game. How we doing, Blakers?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Gabe. How are you, my friend? That
Can't
was
complain.
titillating.
It's what I do. It's what I do. I make
Mm.
magic with my voice.
hmm I have electricity through my veins there, much like the stinging blows on top of Robin Ventura's head, as you alluded to. But if you listen to Robin, he just got a couple noogies, and it wasn't really much of a big deal.
No, he got his ass handed to him. I don't care what Robin Ventura says.
Yeah, man, it really just a couple noogies. That's it.
Well, if it's eluded you thus far, the inaugural full episode of the whole ball game is taking a look at the 1993 matchup between the Texas Rangers and the Chicago White Sox in Arlington, August 4th, 1993. Nolan Ryan on the bump in his 27th year in the major leagues, still
It's a long
hurling 94-mile-per-hour fastballs directly into the back of Robin Ventura, at which point shit gets real, huh, Blake?
Yeah, that's a long time. A lot of people in a lot of professions, some don't even make it to that age in life, and this old man is out there fucking throwing lasers and um probably saying things like bunghole on the field, I would imagine. I could hear him saying something like that, like "You can suck my bunghole, Ventura," or something along. It's some kind of Texas shit. Um, but yeah, Nolan ain't no bitch.
When we were working our way towards this, and I we've both probably watched a million interviews about the incident and whatnot. What kept coming back to me over and over and over again is that we're both far closer in age to Robin Ventura, or excuse me, to Nolan Ryan than we are to Robin Ventura at the time anymore, and that
Yes.
as a result, I empathize, I think, more with Nolan Ryan in this instance than I do with Robin Ventura.
Um. Yeah, I really, I guess I really didn't think about it too much in terms of like when I was younger. I feel like I think I was on Nolan's side back then too, but that's more of just like I think it's just a visceral kind of reaction to the face of Robin Ventura more than anything, really. Like you see these two men and you have to pick one, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's an easy choice, I think.
I will say this: just about all of the media coverage at the time, Sports Center that night, Sports Center the next day, local Chicago TV and radio, everybody talked about Nolan Ryan. As you'll see when we watch along, Ventura comes storming at him, and Nolan wraps his arm around his head and gets him in the front face lock and just starts punching. Right,
Yeah.
every single TV anchor thought they were being really bright when they said, "Oh, it's because Nolan's from Texas and it's just like another steer coming at him." I'm telling you right now, Nolan Ryan has never touched a steer. I don't care if he's got a Texas accent. I promise you, this man has never put a steer in a headlock.
You don't think he's been out there on the fucking circuit wrangling these beasts to the ground with his chaps on and his wranglers?
The man's been playing at this point professional baseball for 27 years. He doesn't
He's
need to be headlocking
he's out
cows.
there. He's cutting fucking brush, Gabe. He's taking the bulls out back. He's cutting their nuts off. Okay. He's killing them. He's grilling them, and he's fucking putting dinner on the table. And then he's hitting Robin Ventura in the back of the fucking shoulder like he's a bitch. That's what he's doing because he's from Texas. All right. And he's going to run the fucking team. How about that?
We'll see. Well, let's get into it, shall we? I know you got copious notes there. So take us on a ride, will you?
Yeah, I mean, so when did you happen to come across and see what the prevailing thought is that actually was the thing that sort of ignited this fire? Not something that just occurred, but there was an incident. Apparently, there is a school of thought that from a spring training game in 1990 when one I believe we'll see him today. It's I always fuck it up. Is it Craig or Greg Graybeck? In either event, Craig Graybeck, I believe, hits a homer off of Nolan, and the legend has it that Nolan did not appreciate the amount of eye fucking that Mister Graybeck gave this ball in spring training, and he held that grudge with him for 3 fucking years. And this was the day that the payback came.
That's really interesting because during the game itself, as we'll hear a little bit later, it's Hawk and Wimpy on the call. Well, we'll talk about them. Um,
Can't put it
but
on Bonnie Rails.
that was absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
No,
thank you.
They allude to get some chippiness in game 2 of the series. This is a game 3 in the series
Yep, it
in
is.
Texas. There was some chippiness after game 1, which the White Sox just dominated them in. I think it was 9-0 in the second inning of that game, on the back of a couple of Frank Thomas home runs, and then in game 2,
Well, the
the
the what happens actually there though to correct you though, but Texas comes back and wins game one 9-8.
That's
So,
right. That's
yeah,
that's I had that backward. I was thinking that was
yeah,
game 2, but yeah, they came
no,
back in the 10th inning, something like that.
yeah. Game two is quite the slugfest as well. Looks like a 11-6 White Sox win in that one. So yeah, they there's that mention of the spring training incident, and then you just have a lot of like general talk of uh if you don't think he's out there hitting people, you're full of shit and you're not paying attention and that kind of stuff. And you got Blackjack McDowell, and and it's just not really fair what he kind of gets away with. He's like the policeman out there, and it's really not that cool, and that kind of shit. So yeah, that I could totally buy the fact though that Nolan held a 3-year grudge over a spring training game too.
Just fascinating to me that these men hold things so close to their hearts when they have 160 some odd games to play every year.
Well, you got to fuel the fire, man. What starts the fire? Who starts the fire, Gabe?
I was hoping that you'd be donning the jacket tonight, but I'll take the reference anytime.
Well, yeah, it's still a little warm here. Okay.
Speaking of which, and this is a little inside baseball, no pun intended, but did you see the MJF uh, takeoff promo of the Brett thing? The Brett down the corridor?
No, I haven't.
Okay. When you get a chance, you go and watch
Yeah.
that. It's gonna make your
Okay.
night.
No, that sounds nice. Yeah, I'd
Anyway.
like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. I'll look forward to that very much. So as we also look at across the mound from Nolan, though, we do have a very strong hurler on the hill for the Shy Sox, and one Alex Fernandez. Alex is sitting at 12-5 on the season with the ERA just under 3 at the 2.99 mark, going up against Nolan, who's he's struggling. He's 2-3 with a 5.58 coming into this game. But do you have as a young man, do you have memories of Alex Fernandez on the hill for your beloved Shy Sox?
Yeah, for sure. In '93, especially, I remember the first game that I ever went to. Alex Fernandez was pitching, and it
Oh,
was
very
against the
nice.
Mariners earlier this year in '93, and I want to say it was May or June. That's
Okay.
all I
Yeah.
remember. Frankly, I don't remember how well he did or who won the game. Even I think the White Sox won, but
Did you see King Griffey Jr. there?
yes, Yeah.
Nice.
Well, yeah, and as a kid, like, at this point, I believe at 10 years old, we talked about my 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 trials and tribulations in Little League baseball last week, but
Hmm.
um, uh, I don't know if the game was out at this point or not, but the Ken Griffey Jr. Super Nintendo game,
Oh
the
yeah,
the
yeah.
baseball game, right?
Hmm.
My favorite thing about that game is it wasn't licensed by the MLBPA,
We're
right?
talking the
Just Major
first
League
one, right?
Baseball. Say again?
We're talking the first one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not like
So
the Slugfest and the
no,
Nintendo
no, 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 the
64
first
one.
one.
Okay,
So
okay, gotcha.
so all the players had fake names except for Ken Griffey
Mhm.
Jr., right?
Yep.
But the beautiful thing about the game is you could change all the players' names. So,
Oh, mm,
yep, me and my buddies went in and we made our little league team, right, on this video game. And so, like,
mm.
because of the video game, and I guess because he was really good too, but Ken was always my number two, right? Frank Thomas was number one, and Ken Griffey Jr. was number two for me as a kid.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in our age probably have that same duo up there at the top. I've got a autographed Frank Thomas. It's the Sports Illustrated. It's got Ken Griffey Jr. and Frank Thomas on it. I think it's from '94. It's autographed by Frank. I'd like to get it signed by Griffey too, but I'm pretty sure if I tried to take it out, it would fucking rip the page, and it's probably plastered to the frame by now. But um, in any event, I did that same thing with it was some I can't remember which football game it was, but I made my high school football team with it was some fucking Nintendo game where you could edit the um, all the players' names and shit. So new level of patheticness for us here.
Yeah, did you play football in high school?
I did, yeah, yeah,
Did you?
yep, yep.
I
I was
you
second
would think
second team all Chisholm Trail League, by the way. Okay,
all
senior year,
Chisholm Trail League?
all Chisholm Trail. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
So.
that. Our high school football team was undefeated. And
Mm-hmm.
that's because we didn't have one. Um, it was far too small a
Jesus.
school for us to have a football team. Like, I had 26 kids in my graduating class. So there weren't enough kids to actually field a football team at my high school. So the 6'5", 300-pound freshman from Westville, Indiana, never played football, or else we'd be having a different conversation. I think I'd probably be an All-American.
I see.
That's probably not true, actually, because I'm the least coordinated human being on the face of the planet, and I'm
Dave
probably far
Yoakum,
too
All
nice to win.
American out of Northwest Indiana, 4-time Rookie of the Year, Sprayberry Middle School, by way of Oklahoma A&M.
Brayberry. I just want to point out for the
I'm a
record that
42-year-old man, and I think of Sprayberry High School more often than people in Sprayberry probably do.
I just want to point out for a second how little sense that made. Sprayberry Middle School by way of Oklahoma A&M. Everybody.
Well, old JR, I guess it don't matter if I'm right or wrong. Fuck it. Um, anyway, back to baseball. When y'all gonna do a football show? That's what I want to know. Maybe a college football show. Call it Boomer Sooner. Um, let's see. So this is actually a little fun fact here. This as we talked about the first two games of the series, the Shy Sox come into this series winning 6 straight ball games. Did you know that?
I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that. They were on a really hot streak. I mean,
Yeah,
they're sitting coming into this game at, I think, 58-47.
they are
Um,
52 and 45. They're leading the West, which this is their last season in the NL West too. By the way, um, we will be moving to the three divisions next season in '94. Be interesting to see how that season works out.
yeah,
Um, but the White Sox do go on, as we do know, as this is look back here. They finish 94-68, win the division. Rangers do come in at 86-76. It's respectable for this group, I think, and they finished second in the West. The White Sox do go on to the ALCS, where they face the Blue Jays, who we'll come to see one of their prize sons here in a bit. Looking forward to that, though. Um, I do have another little fun fact, though. Did you know this? And this is so sad and pathetic that this stadium, Texas Stadium, Arlington State, whatever the fuck they called it, Texas Stadium, right? No, Texas Stadium's football. This is
No, it's
Arlington.
Arlington. Yeah,
Yeah,
Arlington Stadium.
but so it hosts its final game in October of this year. They, in the entire time that the Rangers played there, which I believe is 24, 27 years, I thought, it never hosted one single postseason game or an All-Star game. Nothing.
The entire time that the stadium was
The
was built.
the entire fucking time. Not one single ball game outside of
Wow.
a regular season Rangers game. So, and then they get that at the very first year with the or no, not the very first, second year, because I believe '95 the All Star game is in the new stadium, ballpark in Arlington. Beautiful ballpark that they could have got 20 more years out of. But
If you want to
I
get a look
digress.
at that ballpark, head over to your nearest browser and type it in www.thewholeballgame.com. There's a beautiful shot of the ballpark at Arlington there on our website because it is so gorgeous.
I never got to attend or visit there, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll go catch an XFL game sometime. I think the XFL team plays there now.
I mean,
That seems like
with the merger coming, XFL USFL merger, there's going to be a lot more opportunities to go to these games, from what I can tell.
yeah. It's the world's becoming a much more just exciting and vibrant place by the day.
Yeah,
I
what
think
would we
it's safe
do?
to
Like,
say
and here's a serious question: what would we do without The Rock, without Dwayne Johnson in our lives? Like, really? I mean, like, you know, the immense amount of uh, rich variety he's offered to
Mhm.
us. I mean, it's overwhelming sometimes when you really stop down to think about it.
Well, maybe there would be enough human growth hormone in the world for the rest of us if The Rock wasn't around. That would be nice.
Look, from what
Um,
I understand, that's all natural and basically built off of, just a little bit extra caffeine intake.
I think basically is a loose term, and caffeine is a code name for testosterone. And like, Jesus Christ, man, this guy looks younger than we do.
Well, yeah, and I was going to pull that up right now. Dwayne Johnson is 51 years old.
Jesus.
And in case you've not seen a picture of Dwayne Johnson recently in a tank top or with his shirt off, this man looks like he has the body of a 26-year-old bodybuilder. Now, if you know anything about biology, you know that that's not what 51-year-olds look like if they haven't been pumping themselves full of some sort of something or other for a very, very, very long time.
Hmm. Yeah. You know, people just, it used to just not be possible to look like that at all at any age. It's, I don't know, like, man, that the ex-wife of his, man, she's fucking jacked up too, huh?
Um, yeah, doesn't she wrestle for AEW now?
Oh
Daniel
fuck.
Garcia?
Yeah, she does a dancing gimmick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad.
She gets discounted rigs for the family. Um, so this is the swan song really on Nolan's career here. That's to say, he is going to hang it up. He will win 2 more games before retiring and finishing up his career here in Texas with the Rangers. Quite an illustrious career the man has. I think, if you look at Nolan's time, he comes to the Rangers in December of '88 as a free agent signing. Were you aware of that, Gabe?
Yes.
Looks like he roughly, the this appear they had two, and the third terms of the deal didn't seem too complicated. Basically, a 200K signing bonus, 1.6 million for the first year, and then I think it was either basically it was like a 1.4 million option for the second year, but he does tear it up pretty nicely from '89 to '91. Goes 41 and 25 over that time. With get this, you want to take a guess what his ERA was?
From 88 through 90 through 93.
89 through 91.
Oh, 3.6.
Nope. Take another guess.
It was the pregnant pause for me. It was no.
You're
For
close.
3.8,
No.
2.9.
316. You son of a bitch.
Oh,
316. What? What?
uh,
Look at your
no, not by
shirt.
a long shot.
um, he also had more Ks than anyone in the American League in that time frame. 736. Can you believe that?
So, well, no, and we're talking about old guys, right? So, like,
Mhm.
by baseball standards at this point, Nolan Ryan's first year in the league was 1966. So that means he'd been in the league 22 years by the point we're talking about, 1988,
Yeah, yeah.
89, right? 22, 23 years. And he's got more strikeouts than anybody, which means we're going back in time 5 years at this point. He's in his 40s. He's in his early 40s, and he's
Yes.
outpacing all the young bucks.
Super okay. Yeah, he I can't, I guess I can't just not do anything, man. I'm like a wind me up and watch me go. Um the 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 man you know brought the people to the ballpark too. The team drew 2 million plus for the first time ever in his first year, and they stayed over 2 million in his entire tenure there. So Nolan also a draw at the box office.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure. It was partly him, but I mean, the same year they brought in, I think this is Jose's first year with the club. He doesn't play in this game, but I think he comes in a little bit later in the year to
Yeah,
Texas.
but
So I'm
back in
sure.
'89 though.
Say
Yeah,
again.
they get. I said, but when Nolan first comes in '89,
You're talking the
like,
whole time, not 93.
yeah,
Okay,
so
of
like,
course. Yeah.
yeah, '89's his first year. Um,
Yeah, there's really nobody else there that's going to be
they brought Palmero in, I
offering.
think. Hmm.
Yeah, Nolan is by a large margin um, the oldest player on the team at this point. Um, the
Yeah.
next closest is, yep, Gary Redus
Oh,
at
I know Gary.
36.
Yeah, Gary could steal a bag for you if you needed it. He's a former White Sox for a small period of time, anyway. But I had a thought here, and I think I fucking lost it though. But it was back to what were you talking about before Gary Redus? You got me off on Gary.
Oldest on the team, Jose
Oh yeah.
Canseco.
So yeah, that jogged me. In '89, I believe, in addition to Nolan, basically their two top free agent additions were Palmero and Julio Franco. Which, if he were still on the team, he might be fucking older than Nolan. I'm not certain on that one
Oh,
because
34 years old in 1993.
Julio.
Yep.
Julio's age is loosely
Well,
believed.
as with most of those players that come out of
Yeah,
Cuba or Latin America, there's always
because
a little bit of a question mark, right?
I'm pretty sure that man was playing ball up until like maybe 5 years ago or something. Pretty wild. But anyway, this isn't the fucking Julio Franco show. Um, so, did you know that after every start of his, do you know what Nolan would do?
I don't. Fill me in.
He would go back and he would get a 3 inch butt. No, he would ride a stationary bike for 45 minutes after every single start. Keep that blood flowing. Could you ride a stationary bike for 45 minutes? Period.
Yes, but I'll tell you, it's because it doesn't work every muscle group there is to work. Like if I was if we were talking about can I run 6 miles
Mm-hmm.
right now? No. Can I do more than 2 push-ups? Absolutely fucking not. But I could probably ride a stationary bike for 45 minutes.
After you
However,
threw
could I
nine
do it?
innings,
Say again?
after you threw 9 innings, though,
Exactly. After absolutely not. And why would I want to? But that explains a little bit why he was 46 years old and throwing 94-mile-per-hour heaters.
Gabe, I ride the bike after the ball game to keep my bunghole tight. I don't want to shit my pants, son. That's why I do it. Keeps my butthole tight so I don't get the seat up it. Okay? How many no hitters you got, boy?
A few less than you, sir.
I got no hitters and I got no shitters because I keep my bunghole tight. I'm Nolan Ryan.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So that pretty much takes care of Nolan for the most part in his time in Texas. I do have one little fun fact here, though. I guess two, but did you know there's only one other man in the history of the game to charge the mound on Nolan? And do you know who that man is?
Yes. Um, I can picture it. I also
Mm-hmm,
know
mm-hmm.
that it was exactly 13 years prior to this date,
Oh, very
August
good.
4th, 1980, 3 years before I was born. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I, for some reason, I cannot. It was against the Mets. It was the Mets, right?
No, not the Mets. This would be, I believe, we would be Nolan's time in Houston. I think
Houston.
he
Yeah.
comes.
I just see a blue uniform. Was it against the Blue Jays?
I believe it's the Padres.
Padre. Oh yeah, no, you're right. I can see the guy. I just don't. Off the top of my head, I can't remember his name.
Hall of Famer Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield. Damn it.
Hmm. That that's what they call a hoss fight there. Two big men slapping meat, Gabe. Winfield and Ryan and Winfield. Hoss fight. Sauce fight. Ah! 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 Ryan Express! Ryan Express! Ryan Express!
Good. Good. We got my first coughing fit on
And
the
in
air.
his last start of 1993, Nolan tore his UCL and called it a fucking career.
I mean, hey, look. When I was reading earlier today about this, and it mentioned that Robin Ventura was the last pitcher that he hit, or last hitter that he
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
beaned in his career, I was like, well, what, he must have gone on and played 2 or 3 more seasons, right? No, this was his last season.
That was it. He went out like Chet the Rocket Stedman. Do you not know?
Nope, don't get the reference. Fill me in on that one too.
Rookie of the Year? The
Oh,
movie? Chet
okay.
Stedman? Gary
What's his name
Busey.
from
Yeah.
Home Alone?
I'm Gary Busey.
Oh, it's Gary Busey. Okay,
Well, yeah,
all right.
Daniel Stern's
Yeah,
the
I was thinking Daniel
crazy
Stern. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the Batten guy, but
Mm-hmm.
the Gary Busey plays Chet Stedman.
Buttered sausage. Buttered sausage. Have you seen that video making the rounds? So
No.
there's this video that's going around the internet now, like it's all over the place. So some
Hmm.
guy deep faking Gary Busey, right? So he puts Gary
Oh.
Busey's face on his face,
Oh,
and
okay.
somebody asks him a question about something, and he says, "Let's talk about buttered sausage. How it
Okay. Yeah.
tastes, how it looks, how it feels. How
I
about
could.
that?" And then the guy says something like, "Oh, that's not your jam." And Gary Busey, in quotations, says, "I don't like jam. I like honey, and I kiss it on the lips." Just like, and I've probably watched it 500 or 600 times. It's fascinating. And then last week, the real Gary Busey puts a video up talking about how buttered sausage doesn't make any sense, and he doesn't understand what this is about.
It's amazing he's still alive. I
Gary
can't
Busey is
fucking believe
80
it.
years old, everybody.
Oh, that's ridiculous,
Is
man.
that's fucked up, right? Like to think for a
Yeah.
second that Gary Busey is 80 years old.
I think my favorite Busey is the one in the is it Tommy Boy or no Black Sheep where
Black Sheep. Yep.
he says I can go to your mother's house and start a small brush fire in her panties. Me and my friends would always fucking say that to each other. I got a buddy Nasty Nate. We'd always talk about going over and starting a small brush fire in his mama's panties. Fucking never gets old. Still do it sometimes, but
That's
anyway,
funny. I had a friend in high school named Nasty Nate that we called Big. We called him Big Black Nasty Nate.
I knew two people known by the name of Nasty Nate. I think a lot of people known as Nate or end up being nasty is what we can draw a conclusion there. But you know who's not nasty?
Who's
Robin
that?
Ventura.
Ah, old baby
Um,
face.
yep, yep. Robin comes to us by way of Oklahoma State University. Are you familiar with Stillwater? That's that. That's the rival, Gabe.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but it's Oklahoma. It's same. Might as well be the same town, same state.
Are you trying to Are you trying to ignite bedlam in me, Gabe? You son of a bitch! You want bedlam? Is that what you want? This is Bedlam series.
Hmm.
Um, Robin had an NCAA record 58 game hitting streak in 1987 that still stands to this day. So
Shit.
pretty impressive there. He is also a three-time All-American. Um, he was drafted by the White Sox in 1988, taken 10th overall. Um, Struggles a little bit, finally gets up to the big leagues. Late 89, kind of finds his groove by 91. Has a fine season. That's 284, 23 homers, 100 ribbies in the year for Robin. Um, do you have many memories of Robin as a young White Sox man?
I do, yeah. Robin, he was just like he was the stalwart, right? Like he was the guy that was always there and always like consistently in these games. What I remember most though is how excited I was in 2011 when the White Sox made him manager,
Oh,
right? Like I
interesting.
was over the moon because like I think somewhat psychologically I was convinced that well, if one of the members of this team helped them win a championship, then another can as well, right? And they really gave Robin a hell of a chance. 6 years he was the manager of the White Sox. He did fuck all. He Ozzie Guillen he was not. I'm sorry, Ozzie Guillen he was not.
Gijan. Thanks for bringing Buck Martinez back to my mind, my friend. I really appreciate that.
Look, man, Buck Martinez is going to be a thing on this show, and I need you to just wrap your hands
Uh,
around it and embrace it as much as you possibly can.
no, I don't like that Buck Martinez is a thing in life. Okay, I can't fucking that voice, man. Anyway, do you remember '97 when Robin caught his foot when he was sliding into home plate and he tore his fucking leg up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
well, it's kind of plastered on the front of my eyeballs because like like it was on all of the lists at the end of the year for craziest plays on Sports Center. Like
Mhm.
it's obvious, it's just right there, right? I was 14 at the
Oh
time,
yeah.
so it was like I couldn't drive, so all I could do was sit at home and watch wrestling, play video games, and watch Sports Center.
Uh huh. Uh huh. That sounds pretty awesome right now.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
that yeah, like we do love grotesque leg injuries in our sporting affairs in this country. I'll tell you that. Joe Theismann, still remembered to this day. Um, we come to Robin's end of his time in Chicago here in 1980 or 98, excuse me. He wins his fifth Gold Glove. Um, bats 263 with 21 homers, 91 RBIs. But beloved White Sox owner Jerry Reinsdorf says that he just says his skills are deteriorating. He's not worth the money he thinks he's worth.
Sounds a
And
lot like what he talked about when he talked about Scottie Pippen, if I remember correctly.
Mhm. I mean, is he really that good if Michael's not here? I don't know. I'm just asking. I mean, could it be anybody? Maybe somebody that we could get a little cheaper do the same thing. That would be fine, right? As long as we win the title with Michael, fuck it.
Well,
Um,
yeah, I mean, look, 97 was the only year that this guy missed any significant time at all. 157 games, 157, 157, 135, 158, 54
mhm,
and 97, and then
mhm.
161 all the way through his time with the Mets, 141 with the Yankees. Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not a It's not like he didn't have to be the man too. He was a solid. He was a Robin exactly. Like Jesus Christ, I can only imagine the amount of Batman and Robin shit with those two. I never really could get a strong read on how Frank and Robin got along because it feels to me like they would probably hate each other, but I'm not sure. I think I can't get a read on Frank, which makes me think there's some darkness there that I don't know that's deep down. But anyway,
I've always gotten the vibe from Frank, like the kind of public image that he paints of himself as this kind of smiling, happy-go-lucky sort of guy is. I mean, you look at those eyes, like just take a look at
hmm
Frank Thomas's eyes the next time you see a picture of him, and tell me there's not a significant amount of pain back there, some
oh,
darkness, and when you're that big and by all accounts naturally that big and you're under that
hmm
kind of microscope for so long, especially up to this point when all of the revelations came out in the late 90s and everybody's looking at everything with a fine-tooth comb, and he's under a ton of scrutiny as well because all of those guys were, especially the ones that were big, and you're one of the clean ones and you know it, and you're still getting all that that flack. I would imagine there's probably a significant amount of fuck you energy in Frank Thomas to this day.
has he hurt people?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if, there were two or three traffic incidents. Somebody rear-ended him and he pulled somebody out of a car and kicked him in the ribs, and
Does he
then
go, "Do you know who I am, man?" Does he say that?
no, I don't think he does. I think he
Okay.
just he strides in silence. He says nothing. He pulls the man out of the vehicle, throws him to the ground, kicks him in the ribs 3 times, kneels
Mhm.
down, grabs him by the jowls, by the cheeks, do you
Yes. Yes.
understand what you've done?
Uh-huh.
And he's,
Uh-huh.
yes, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then he kicks him in the jaw. Guy loses 3 or 4 teeth. He gets back in the Beamer and he drives away.
That's that's I think that's very likely. I could see that
You
happening.
know what? This is actually a really good segue because we got an email
No.
uh, about something really interesting, and we may come back to the White Sox in this era. I don't know when or if we will get there, but our buddy Donnie sent us an email through the contact form on the website. One more time, it's www.thewholeballgame.com. You want to get to us there with any questions or thoughts, that sort of thing, you can do it there, or you can send us an email. It's thewholeballgame at mail.com, mail.com. But Donnie, he says, I need to revisit the book, but in the recent Bo Jackson biography, The Last Folk Hero, there's a pretty good story in there about Ventura versus Ryan. Um, uh, he goes on, Bo was on that White Sox team. Yes, he was, and we'll talk about that in a little while. The book also starts with an anecdote about the White Sox flying from place to place, and there was apparently an incident on a plane in 1991 with the team plane. The plane was going to crash as one of the engines blew and was on fire.
Oh,
Frank Thomas grabbed every blanket and pillow he could find and built a cocoon for himself.
yes, he did.
Players were calling loved ones to say goodbye. And in the middle of all this, Bo Jackson sprints to the cockpit and gets in and to talk to the pilots. He comes out not too long after to tell everybody to calm down and the pilots have it under control. And they must have, because we all know the plane lands safely and the White Sox play their next game. But I think that little tidbit about Frank, that he wasn't the one trying to get everybody under control.
Mm-hmm.
He just said, you know what? In case this plane crashes, I want to wrap myself in a cocoon and maybe that will save me. Like
These,
maybe these blankets will be enough to sustain the fall from 35,000 feet to the ground.
I'm the big hurt, and all I need is some fucking blankets. I mean, I think who was the man? Was it head coach Denny Green when he said they are who we thought they were?
And we
Um,
let him off the hook. He's
yeah,
talking about the
yeah,
Bears, by the way.
that's right. It was Monday night, I believe. But the eyes never lie, right?
They do not.
There they are. The big hurt. Maybe not just a clever nickname. Who knows? Um, Thank you for that, though. Appreciate that. Um, Dizzle Dizzle. Let's see. Back to Robin. So Robin moves on to the Mets. 4 years there. Gets to play in a World Series in 2000. He goes on, makes another All Star team, and finishes up his career finally out in Los Angeles. Ends up tied fifth all time with Willie McCovey for career Grand Slams with 17. Did you know that he had 17 Grand Slams, Gabe?
I had no idea he had that many Grand Slams.
17, and that is only good enough for fifth. That's what blew my mind as well.
God, who's number one on that list?
That's a good question. Who has the most
We're gonna,
career? Let's find
luckily
out.
enough for us, we have the entirety of the world's worth of data at our fingertips at every given moment. It's funny how often we forget that that's the case, right? Like in the palm of my hand, any
Mm-hmm.
fact or piece of trivia that I could possibly ever want to find is available within a matter of
Mm-hmm.
seconds. It's pretty crazy.
It is, and the answer is Rafael Nadal. So,
Fuck you.
oh, wrong sport. Oh, okay.
We got tennis
Uh,
jokes
my
on the whole ball game.
apologies. It's the whole fucking ball game. God damn it. Uh, this can't be right. It's A-Rod.
Oh, okay. Well, how many of those actually count?
He's got 25 of them.
Look, man, if we're gonna play that game where they don't get to go to the Hall of Fame, then why do the stats count?
I'm not playing that game. That's not my fucking game. I think you take all the fucking steroids that you can get your hands on and hit as many homers as possible. So you can kiss my ass.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
agree. I think there should be even if you just dedicate a wing to the steroid era. Like, I'm sorry, like, fuck, those guys should be in
I
the Hall of Fame. Like, there's
well,
Barry Bonds, Matt,
that
my
you can't you cannot exclude them while at the same time reap the benefits of what they did, and that's what
well,
happened
exactly right. Like, yeah, like
because they
the
saved the
boom of
goddamn
my God
game.
pulled everybody back into watching baseball in 98 and 99. Every single person in America had their eyes on, like, and yes, that's hyperbole, but everybody that mattered was paying attention.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, like baseball kind of came back a little bit with Ripken, but it really wasn't until the homers. Like then McGuire and Sosa, take off, and then shit just. I mean, you get up and you look at the paper. You're trying to see what the fuck happened last night. Like it was wild. I don't remember anything like it in just the general like public in terms of a shared sports experience. Like really in my lifetime that I can think of. Uh, Not even like Michael Jordan.
I mean, well, okay, that's about the closest that I can come. Is more, at least for me. I remember the third championship really well, but of the Bulls in '93, but um, '96, '97, and '98, especially where I lived. Right, I was 60 miles outside of Chicago in Northwest Indiana, and so the fervor there in the area, the greater Chicagoland area, as it were, um, was pretty fever pitch. Like it was, everybody was paying very close attention to all that, and it was like this communal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't the whole season. It was mostly, it was the playoffs, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
once you got to what, June or July, it was, everybody was glued to the TV watching Sports Center every night to see who did what.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that the fucking Stan, what is it, Stan Mikita's was all filled up with people back there. Was it you that told me that that was a made up place in Wayne's World? The
Yeah, no, it's not a real donut shop.
That blew my fucking mind when I found that out. It just seems like a slam dunk. It's such a good idea that like something that should be there. If you take a Chicagoland legend and give him a donut place. I feel like that's pretty much just a license to print money. But
Ironically, there is now a Stan's Donuts that was founded in Chicago, but it's not Stan Mikita's place.
all right, well, I don't care. Um, so um, I have a little foray, a little. It's a long. It's a man that we'll see today. It's going to be part of our ball game, but not everybody here, Gabe, is championship material, and not everybody is going to get their moment in the sun to stand at the top of Mount Profession and have the uh, the show built around them. But what we can have is there are certain men, especially men of this era, men of this time that just have a certain something about their face, and they need to be examined and they need to be looked at, and we need to see what's going on in these men, and these men are going to be what we like to call our kisser of the week.
Mm.
So
As we all well know, um, the face tells you all you need to know about a man. And I think for the inaugural kisser of the week, I don't know that you could have picked a better selection, frankly.
I I mean, I'm not I don't know if I have ever been involved in anything in my life that feels like it was more sent from the heavens and the gods than our kisser of the week on our inaugural show. And that face, that chiseled beautiful face, belongs to Thomas Anthony Hinkey, born December 2nd, 1957 in Kansas City, Missouri, as one of 11 children.
The Terminator.
He ain't no tater. It's the Terminator. It's Tom Hankey. He's Missouri's finest. He's here to fucking terminate and save ball games, okay? Gabe, what do you know about Tom Hankey?
I know he's a Blue Jay before he was a Ranger. Uh, and I know, thanks to a video that you sent me a little bit earlier today, that he, he promoted Aquavelva
He
during his time with the Toronto Blue Jays. So he had at least one endorsement deal with uh, an aftershave that you could get at any drugstore in America.
he's an Aqua Velva man.
He is. He really is.
Yeah. Great game, Terminator. Catch that at the end?
I did. I absolutely did. I
Because they're gonna go fuck. They're
see.
walking off together because he's gonna go terminate her pussy.
Look, and this is Kisser of the Week. Here's the upsetting thing about the commercial is this woman is relatively attractive. Tom Henke is not. Tom Henke looks.
Tom
Tom
Hanky looks
Henke.
worse than Mr. Hanky, okay?
Tom Henke looks like Jeffrey Dahmer,
Oh,
a taller, beefier Jeffrey Dahmer. That's what Tom Henke looks like.
did you say a beefier Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah, taller, beefier Jeffrey Dahmer.
I think Jeffrey would appreciate the extra beef. That's all I'm
Look at the
saying.
adjective, beefier.
We were listening to Pac.
You're headed to Milwaukee from Chicago.
I think it was I can't remember if it was Dato to Orlando or Orlando to Dato. In any event, it's like anything else, really. We went to Dato and then back, but it's fuck it.
You stay at a La Quinta's or what?
But it had Applebee's in it.
Attached.
Attached, attached around the back on the southwest corner. So Tom, much like another Canadian hero, I believe there were 11 Hart children, weren't there?
There were, yes.
So 11 Harts, 11 Hankies. Fascinating.
Coincidence?
It's the simulation, perhaps. The H's got all jacked up, and they ended up with 11 kids, and the Hankies and the Harts, and one played, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. So, Tom, if you could believe it, looking at that face, he was reluctant to leave home. he he enrolled in East Central College in Union, Missouri, and he studied building construction.
How in the hell does does a Canadian guy end up going to college in Missouri?
Well, no. He was born in Kansas City,
Oh,
Missouri.
he
Yeah,
played. He played.
he
Okay,
played. Yeah, yeah. He becomes a
I thought
Canadian
for a second
hero. Yeah.
there, my brain went.
Nope.
Okay, all right, keep going. Sorry.
Very, very valid question. If that were the case, that would definitely something for us to put under deep scrutiny. But no, Tom's a, and if you know Missouri, it kind of makes sense too. Really, he's got a pretty Missouri face as well. But one day,
Wait, now did you? He's got a pretty Missouri face, or he's got a pretty Missouri face.
no, like it's not it's not pretty. It's not
It's very
beautiful.
Missouri. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
it is it is an essence of Missouri, is what I'm saying. Um, One day, Hinky orders a Big Mac at a McDonald's, and his server, Kathy Swabata, a 6'1" volleyball softball player, and it was love at first sight as Tom meets Kathy at the McDonald's.
I'm so glad. It's kismet, really. Um, there's a classic song from the '90s called "McDonald's Girl." I don't know if you're familiar with this song. I am a former, because the the fan club doesn't exist anymore, but I was a card carrying member of the ladies' room, the Bare Naked Ladies fan club. Uh, the
I hear they get a bad rap.
Blake has been privy to many text messages with song suggestions over the years. No, but they cover another Canadian artist who wrote the song, and I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But let me go ahead and give you a few bars of McDonald's Girl in honor of Tom Henke. Are you ready?
Yeah.
On my way home from softball practice every night, it's getting dark, but the golden arches light up the way. I turn the corner at the traffic light. I count my money and then I rehearse what I'm gonna say. I'd like a order of fries, a quarter pounder with cheese. I love the light in your eyes. Will you go out with me, please? I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She has a smile of innocence, so tender and warm. I am in love with a McDonald's girl. She is an angel in a polyester uniform. That is how Tom Henke met his wife.
Oh, it is. Yes, yes, it is. That was fantastic, Gabe. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Hey, you never know what's going to happen in the WWF.
I I was not expecting. I didn't think what was it? The ladies' room. Is that
The
what it's
ladies'
called?
room, correct.
The ladies' room. I didn't think the ladies' room would come up tonight, but here I guess I should have known. Canada and all, but it. I'll remember that next time.
There you go.
Definitely. Thank you.
Look,
Um,
man, this is kismet. If anything proves a simulation, it's that
mhm,
Tom Henke,
mhm,
our first kisser of the week, met his
mhm.
wife while she was working at McDonald's.
Yeah, you take the lightning when it comes to you and you bottle it up. Um, if Now let me ask you this though: if you had to guess, knowing what you know of Mr. Hankey, um, how long would you think that it took him to ask his wife out on a date?
Interesting. Um, I don't know. By just based off of his face, I'd say at least 6 months.
Hmm? No, no. Tom might be a little faster than you're giving him credit for.
Okay,
He got it done in two. Took him 2 months.
2 months. All right,
Yeah.
that's a lot of Big Macs, man.
His a lot of Big Macs. He ends up like that. And that one guy, is that one Big Mac guy? Is he from Michigan? Where's that guy from? The dude that he would eat like a big. Did you ever see him? He kind of looked like a creepier John Lennon that ate at McDonald's all the time. He supposedly would eat like 6 Big Macs a day or something.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's from Michigan or not, though.
I don't know. I thought he was from somewhere in like the central regions states.
Sounds
But
right. I mean,
anyway,
it tracks.
Um, but yeah, 2 months that would be a lot of Big Macs. Maybe that happens to be possibly part of the reason that he was nicknamed the Hose by his college teammates. Do you have any other guesses as to why he might have been named the Hose?
My first instinct, the thought that came to mind first is, he's got a gigantic dick.
I mean, he was a relief pitcher, so he's clearly the fireman of the team, and he comes in and puts the fires out. So the fire hose,
Oh,
you refer
okay.
with. No,
Yeah.
I think it's the massive cock on Tom Hankey is
Right.
why
Yeah.
they
Huge
called him
dick.
the hose. They call it the Hankey hose,
Yeah.
and they've probably still got it drawn on the wall at the old Central Union, Missouri
Well,
State.
you might call it the hanky hose, but uh, Kathy calls it Kathy's cock.
You might call it the Hankey hose, but Kathy just calls it a good time.
You might call it the hanky hose, but Kathy calls it a quarter pounder with cheese.
I can't do another one. I don't have anything. I got nothing. All that to say that Tom was selected by the Rangers in the fourth round in 1980. So a little bit of the full circleness here. Tom actually drafted by the Rangers originally. Um, he kind of uh, finally becomes a relief pitcher in the minors. You got to think back in the day as well. When we look back, the bullpens were not what they are today, and they were essentially the kind of worst fucking pitchers in the league, other than maybe your closer here and there. So the thought process was it's the quickest way to get to the big leagues. If you can be a good relief pitcher, then maybe you can make it up a little quicker than trying to be somebody's fifth starter or whatever. So Tom starts working on that and finally makes his debut in September of '82 against the Seattle Mariners in Arlington. He
Late in the season.
Yeah, late season call up, definitely. So it's the Rangers. There's nothing really important going on either. Um, Doug Rader, the Rangers manager in 1983, questions Tom's makeup and if Tom has what it takes to handle the pressure.
Well, I don't wear any makeup. Kathy wears makeup, but I don't wear it.
I only wear the makeup if Kathy asks me to. Uh,
No, she's an angel in a polyester uniform.
Polyester. I like the way it feels on my fingers. It helps me with my split-fingered fastball. It
I
keeps
stick a
my
couple of
fingers.
French fries in my armband before the game, reach in there for a little added leverage every now and again.
Leverage. What's he hooking the fucking tights on the roll up? Jesus, he's got the tights. By God, Hanky's hooking the tights on the Big Mac. What are we doing? We're all fuck. So Doug Rader thinks Tom's a bitch, basically, is what we're saying. And Tom doesn't help himself because in a spring training game, he throws to the wrong fucking base, and Rader loses his shit and yells at Tom, "This is what I'm talking about, you fucking big hose, bitch!" And Tom's even keel persona in 1983 is seen as a negative. Would you like a
Well, I'm
direct
not
quote?
sure how me being on the level could be a bad thing.
The coaching staff said, and I think this will tell you what they're looking for. You can't ever get a read on him. He's on such an even keel, you just can't tell.
Look, man,
They
he's
just
an
want
Aquavelva man. I don't know what you want.
He's a confident motherfucker is what Tom Hankey is, okay? He's got his Aquavelva, he's got his fucking hose, he's got his Big Mac, he's got his 6'1" fucking volleyball wife that's probably putting her legs behind her head while she's getting the hose. Um, like Tom Hankey, and he didn't need Doug Rader in his fucking ass. Okay. But so anyway, Tom's even keel. They've never seen Tom in bed, obviously, but he works on developing the splitter while he's playing in the Puerto Rican Winter League. So, would you like to think of Tom in Puerto Rico in the winter in 1984?
Look, with a hose like his, walking around Puerto Rico in the wintertime at 6'5", the man cleaned up, even keel or not. The hose was taking care of business.
Would you like to chop out some of your Puerto Rican lines on my hose? You can
He,
just snort it right off of there.
this is the largest automobile I could afford. Yeah, it just came to me. It's clearly the tall small car guy from The Simpsons is based off of Tom Hankey.
That's fucking it. You're absolutely right. God.
Hey, it's the boy that laughs at everyone. Let's all laugh at him.
Oh,
I've got a gigantic penis.
you're absolutely right. I didn't even think of that. That was buried deep inside, just like the hinky
Like
hose.
I am with my wife most nights. Deep
Um,
inside. Oh, Kathy.
is her name Kathy? Did we mess that up? Did I mess it up? Yeah, Kathy, right? Yeah, Kathy
No, you
Swoboda.
didn't
That's
mess it
it.
up. Yeah, you told us her name is Kathy.
We got too many voices in my head here. I don't know. Um, so Tom goes to Puerto Rico, gets his splitter going, and the Rangers will sign free agent designated hitter Cliff Johnson, and well. The price for Cliff is going to be some compensation, and that compensation is going to be Tom. So Tom's going to fucking Toronto. Okay. In 1985, Tom is going to debut with the Jays, picks up 13 saves. And this is where, as a fan favorite, shortly after, the Ballad of Tom Hankey is penned. Would you like to provide some context on the Ballad of Tom Hankey, Gabe? Do you know anything about the Ballad of Tom Hankey?
I don't know anything about it because today is the first day that I ever heard it. You sent it over to me.
Me too.
Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
couldn't upload it into our system here. So we're going to have to figure out a way to play it for the folks another time. But
I think what we sorry.
go
I
ahead.
just thinking on the fly here, you know what we could possibly do. Because Tom will come into the ball game at some point. Maybe I could do some spoken word on it, and we could um, maybe Tom in his own words could deliver the uh, the ballad of Tom Hankey. So I don't know. We'll play around with it. Fuck it.
Yeah, I
But
think I also, depending on what the quality is through the mic, I might be able to play it off my phone to the mic and it might
no,
work okay.
yeah.
So we'll give that a shot later.
We'll see what happens. But at any event, just people need to know that Tom Hankey was a big fucking deal, and they loved him in Canada, and he's spraying hose all over the countryside.
Some people don't know that when I do ejaculate, it smells like aquavelva.
When I moved to Canada, it became mapley. Um, so Tom and the Jays blow a 3-1 lead against the Royals in '85. Tom's not worried though because he has a deep faith. I have a deep faith. I believe God has a plan for everything, Tom says. So naturally in 1987, Tom wants a fucking raise. He ends up in a months long dispute with the Blue Jays management. Um, they're all, hey buddy, we're not gonna fucking pay you your money, buddy. You can go suck my ass, Tom. And Tom's like, well, okay, I'll take $291,000. And they're like, fine, buddy, go fuck yourself. And Tom gets a 1 year deal for $291,
Is that
and he goes out.
291 Canadian?
I, that's a great question. I'm not prepared to answer that. So we'll
Makes a
chalk that
difference.
up. Maybe we'll put it out on the internet later and let people know. Um, I've noted Tom is also an Aquavelva man, and he's going to arbitration in 1988. Tom's going to get a nice raise there, up to 725,000 per year. But the process was not all fun and games for Tom. This is what he had to say about the entire arbitration process. I did not enjoy sitting there listening to the people I work for tell me I'm not very good. Have you ever been involved in an arbitration process as a human being?
Um, no.
No, me neither. I can't imagine how that would be productive in any fucking way.
Miserable. By the way, I did the inflation calculator from 1993 to 2023. 291,000 in 1993. You want to take a guess at what that is today?
2 million.
No.
No, I don't know.
608,000.
Canadian or American?
Exactly. Yes.
Um, So Tom's gonna go to the fucking ALCS in '89, and then he's gonna get that fat deal in '90, and get a 3-year, $7.5 million deal to stay in Toronto. He does make it back. I didn't even really. It didn't click to me. The Blue Jays are in the ALCS like fucking a million times here.
Oh
85,
yeah, yeah.
89.
Late '80s,
They
early '90s, man, they were just a insane powerhouse. And I mean, everybody knows, 93, 91, like that era with Joe
hmm
Carter and all of that. But like, yeah,
Hey, buddy, what are you doing over there? Fucking knocking over bottles. We're talking about my Blue Jays, guy. Come on now. Um, but yeah, so Tom has 34 saves in 92 as the Blue Jays are the AL champs in 92. They do go to the yes, 92. Yeah, they go to the World Series in 92, right? Yep, they beat
yep.
Atlanta. Um,
Hmm.
Tom blows the save in Game 6 as the Jays were up 2-1. I actually, as I was reading through this, I remembered watching it, and Tom does come in and fucking blow the save. Otis Nixon gets a hit, ties it up, and basically the Jays do go on to win anyway in extra innings. But they offer Tom 1 year deal after that, and Tom says, "I'm going to Texas. I'm going to take $8 million and spend the next 2 years there." Which brings us to 1993, and where we see Tom. Tom comes in and the hose sprays all over Arlington, and Tom gets 40 fucking saves for a
40
Texas
saves.
franchise record, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big number today. Even like that's
Yeah,
a it's a lot of saves,
it's not Bobby Thigpen esque, but it'll
or
do.
or even Bobby Jenks, but.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that guy in a long time, man. What do you
I
think
pulled
of?
so Topps puts out a set of cards every year that it's not Topps Heritage, it's Topps Archives, Topps Archives every year, and basically all the cards look like the cards that we collected as kids or older, right? They're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
all different designs, and each box you get 2 autographs, and they're on card, which is cool, but like the people that they have autographed the cards are a little bit off of the beaten path, right? They're niche players or people you don't usually see on cards. And I think it's like a 93 Tops lookalike Bobby Jenks auto.
nice.
Yeah,
Hey, he's World
yeah,
Series champion, right?
you damn right he was.
Do you have any?
Bobby Jenks is, look, there's a lot of individual contributors to that 2005 White Sox championship, but in the playoffs, what Bobby Jenks was able to pull off against Boston in Game 5 in Boston is just miraculous. He came into the game with the bases loaded and shut them down with no outs.
How do you feel about his face?
Oh, he's got a stupid fucking face. Like, he's a real contender down the road for Kisser of the Week.
Didn't he have Do you have a funny goatee? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Whisker
what.
Biscuit. He absolutely
Yeah,
did. Yep.
died. Did he dye it? Am I thinking of somebody else?
I think he did. I think he did Diet
All
Blonde.
right,
Yes.
let's move
Hmm.
on.
Yep.
So 94, Tom gets hurt. I think a lot of people got hurt in 94. Um,
I certainly
not
got hurt in '94.
There was pain that would ripple through eternity from 1994,
It sounds like you got
and
thoughts on 1994, Blake.
a lot of important things happened in 1994 that set us on a course for where we are today, and I think we'll come to see that as time goes on.
Hmm.
Um, Mr. Hankey, however, is going home, and
Mm.
he's going to sign a 1 year deal with my beloved St. Louis Cardinals. And Tom says, "I'll be honest, if I wasn't going to the Cardinals, I'd retire otherwise."
I've always admired guys who've gone out at the top of their game. Sometimes you have to look at what's the most important thing in life. I'd like to see my kids grow up. Another quote from the illustrious Tom Hankey, by the way.
Tom and Ron Kittle probably got along very well.
Tom and Ron Kittle may well have the same mother. They have
Tom
the
and Ron
same.
Kittle. But sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they have the same optometrist because they have the same frames.
Yeah, they could also. No, probably don't share Kathy. Eh, probably not their style. Not in the Kittle household, anyway.
Look,
Um,
man, I guarantee you that had Ron Kittle been on the '93 Chicago White Sox, they would have shared a little bit of Tom's hose back in the clubhouse. Because Ron Ron's a guy that doesn't let conventional definitions of sexuality confine him.
he knows it's a spectrum.
Yeah,
Um, is Ron Kittle and Dan Pasqua? Are we sure that those are two different people? Because I feel like these are the same men. They just like replicated each other. Like both the first base DH, both
utility man.
the
Yeah,
yeah the strong power hitting left-handed bat. I don't know. Another case for the simulation, possibly, is all I'm saying. Maybe there was some sort of jargon that got off with the White Sox and their power hitting first base weird Glaskus creep guy.
yeah. They both have the strong jawline. They both have the chin dimple. I mean,
Mhm.
I hear what you're saying.
They both, deeply embrace the teachings of Jesus Christ and the readings of the Latter day Saints. Do you remember those commercials from when we were children?
I do. Yes, absolutely. I do. I actually I lived in Memphis for about a year around 2009, 2010. While I was in Memphis, I actually was the people that I worked for were Mormons.
Mm.
And so I
Mhm.
learned a ton about the Mormon faith. I also was baptized into the Mormon church in
Oh,
Memphis
okay.
because there's a lot of whys to that, but I I never followed through on it. Really, I did it because I wanted my bosses to like me. So 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 I'd go over to my boss's house. His name was Jeff, and and he would have the missionaries from the church come over and do the little teachings and whatnot. And we all got along nice. And the Mormons, they were all very nice people. And they're like, "Do you want to get baptized into the church? We'll do like you'll be able to see your genealogy in the church going back to
Wait,
the original people of And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And yeah, so I got baptized into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints. In the Bible, did you know that? Look, what I really admire about the Mormons is that they actually, in their recruitment process, they do their best to try to answer the questions that people have about life and why we're here, right? So, like, it, they at one point, they were talking about deja vu with me, right? And it's always been a fascinating thing for me. Like, why do we feel like sometimes we've known people forever, right? They have an explanation for that. They say, well,
oh, great. I'd like to hear
in
it.
in the beginning, before God created everything, we all lived together in the before times,
Oh,
and like, so
wow.
we all knew each other. And
Jesus.
sometimes you'll get a look at somebody on the street and you'll remember them from that implanted memory from the before times,
Sure,
before
yeah.
creation, right?
Uh-huh.
uh, and well, I know it's absolute abject bullshit. I was really impressed with the fact that they thought enough to want to have explanations for all of these gaps. um, in
Should
the
have thought a
Bible,
little
apparently.
longer.
Say again.
Should have thought a little longer.
Yeah, well, in the Bible, at some point, apparently, it talks about Jesus going to tend to children from another flock. And that's where John Smith saw his opening and said, "Ah, see, America. Jesus came to America." And that's why the name Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. right? Because it happened in the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
no, it's
wasn't aware.
complete
I
and total
was.
bullshit, but it's fascinating when you go down that deep dive. But yeah, I'm on the rolls somewhere in the Mormon Church. Like I'm officially a member, a baptized member of the church. I don't know if they've kicked me out yet or not. I guess it's possible.
I got a feeling you remember of a lot of things that I'm going to find out about as we go through this.
Yeah, they
You
call
got
me
a
the hose.
silent E. Um, the uh, so yeah,
My
Tom,
God,
Tom, Tom, Tom goes on to have a fantastic year in St. Louis. 1.82 ERA, saves 35 ball games, makes his second fucking All Star teams. And Tom says, "You know what? I'm going to take my St. Louis Baseball Man of the Year award, and I'm going to get the fuck out of here and call it a career." Tom goes on to be a member of the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame in 2000 and the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in 2011. And he finishes his career up with a 41-42 record, a 2.67 ERA, and 217 career saves for the
well, I mean, look.
Hose.
At the end of the day, being a member of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame is kind of like being voted nicest guy in prison, right?
As time goes on, buddy, we got more Canadian ball players that do the good job. The Larry Walkers, buddy.
Larry
You got
Walker's
Larry
Canadian?
Walker. Yeah, he's Canadian.
Shit.
Freddie Freeman's Canadian. Um, yeah,
Larry
he
Walker
looks
looks like
he looks
he
skipper.
uh, fuck. Larry Walker looks like he's from like Bensonhurst in Brooklyn.
No, no, he's straight Canadian. I
You
think
kind of look like Larry
he's.
Walker.
I thought I looked like Nick Swisher, whatever.
Love child.
Um, that's a lot of beef slapping.
It's a lot of beef.
Larry Walker. I'm trying to see what Canadian province he's from. Uh, he's a
Brooklyn.
Canadian professional ball player. Yep. Come on, Larry. It just says it's always hard to find out where people are from. Okay, here we go. British Columbia, Maple Ridge, British Columbia.
Oh, like West Coast Canada. Okay, fine.
Yep,
Doesn't really
that's
count,
it.
but okay.
Okay, that's different.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure it's perfectly Canadian.
He went from the West Coast all the way to Montreal.
I've always wanted to go to Montreal. I've heard wonderful things about that place.
When the Expos come back, we'll have to take the show on the road to the very first game in Montreal.
Well, I'm telling you right now, like I think I don't know if I said this to you or not, but I was watching a bunch of old baseball shit on YouTube the other day, and those fans and that place, the energy in that building, like it's criminal that they haven't brought that team back. If there is another expansion and Montreal doesn't get a team back and they don't call them the Montreal Expos, then what are we even doing here?
hmm Yeah, I think that's definitely the first team that's gonna like there. It's gonna be Montreal. I don't probably Nashville or something, I guess, but Montreal, they got to get a fucking team. Like it did get pretty shitty towards the end. I remember like there was nobody at those fucking games and it was gross. But they should have built them a fucking stadium too.
Well, yeah, I mean, the place is turning into, I mean, looking at it, right? That big center field wall, it looked like shit.
Mhm.
Even on
Was
television when you were watching those games, but like the energy, that's what it comes down to. Like that's the sort of, that's why people want to go to sporting events is for that kind of energy. And in the late 80s and early 90s, man, up until like what, 91 is really when it started to go downhill.
well, yeah, the Expos were the best team in baseball in '94, and then the strike killed them. They completely got rid of the team, and they had nobody in '95. So that's basically when they completely died. But
Wait, so
yeah,
oh no! It was the early 2000s. I'm 10 years off. Yeah. It was
yeah,
like
they had a little
2003 or
run with like
2004, right?
yeah, that's when the ball game was over. Like they had that little run with Vlad Guerrero for a while, but it was basically they had no shot really again after '94. Um, I mean, the state was literally falling apart. Fucking pieces of concrete were falling out of the ceiling and stuff. So it was just bad deal. Come to Toronto, buddy. We got your fucking baseball team over here, guy. You're a Blue Jay fan now. Expos fucking suck. Ha ha.
All right. What else we got? Is Tom Henke the end of this? Are we watching baseball now?
Yeah, it's time to go to the ballpark.
I love it. I love it. It is as usual. We're going to go to the game here in just a moment. In the meantime, stay right there, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. As always, head on over to the description of the podcast for the link to the game on YouTube. Chicago White Sox at Texas Rangers 8/4/93 original sports channel broadcast is what you're looking for when you click the link through. And of course, we're going to count this down from 3. So it's going to go 3, 2, 1, play. And we press play when I say play. And we're going to watch this sucker together. It is Ken Hawk Harrelson and Wimpy Tom Paciorek on the call from Arlington Stadium in 3, 2, 1, play. Got some writing on the screen.
Oh. Look at
92
that.
degrees.
It's beautiful.
Hasn't rained in Dallas in over a month.
It's been drier than a witch's tit out here, I tell ya. Something like that.
The Hawk always cracks me up. He's either incredibly loved or incredibly hated in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
People either love him or hate him.
How do you feel?
I love Hawk. I think he's great. Tim Raines flies out to left field on that one. Lead off for the White Sox. I love Hawk. He's got that Texas twang in his voice, like he's a Southern guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just gimmicky enough to be entertaining all the time. He has a lot of hot takes, and I think that's what rubs people the wrong way about him is the kind of he kind of talks a lot of shit and is a bit of a homer. But I think that's what I liked about him. I wanted somebody on the call to be rooting for the team he's calling for.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's Joey Cora up next, batting .280 on the year with a home run. Joey Cora might weigh 100 pounds soaking wet.
He is a very small man. That is definitely for certain.
Ninth meeting of the year, he said 6 of 8 have gone to the White Sox. Boy, oh boy, that was a strong a strong swing. Nolan looking old. It's an old man pitching.
You got to keep your bunghole tight, Gabe.
$27 years.
Excellent point, Hawk. Excellent point.
Yeah, they continue to go on about how he's been in the bigs for 27 years, pitching, not just playing, but pitching. And he walks Joey Cora, so you got the fastest guy on the team at first base with 1 out in the first inning. We got our picks to click. Hawk picked
Uh-oh.
Steve Sachs. Wimpy going with Tim Raines, and old Jim in the box picking Lance Johnson as their pick to click.
LJ, the old one dog. Oh, who's this fella? Matt
Yeah, I
Morella. Who
have
the fuck is
absolutely
this
no
guy?
clue. This is Matt Marullo, tall drink of water, batting third in
Son
the
of a bitch
game
is batting
instead of Frank
third.
Thomas today. I don't know if Frank pulled something, hitting all those home runs in game 2, or what the fuck.
I believe Frank was set a day off here. Apparently, I guess we got who Gene Lamont. That's our skipper, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Gene subscribes to the theory of not disrupting the rest of the guys in the lineup and just implanting the man, giving the man the day off in the original man's spot. Big
Matt
Hurt's the number 3
Marullo
guy, so
drops right between the center and right fielder and advances the runner. That's runners on first and second with one out in the first inning.
no. Gene Lamont shows you why he knows what the fuck he's doing, I guess.
Gene Lamont
Wimpy.
kind of looks like if Mario were a real person.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just kind of
Wimp.
short and squat and not super fat, but fat enough, right? Like maybe even
Mhm.
almost like a younger Tommy Lasorda, Gene Lamont.
He's working on it. There's Robin.
Man of the hour, 10-game hitting streak coming into the game.
Did you catch Wimpy shitting on the outfield out there?
I did not. Nope, I'll make that 11-game hitting streak.
Yep.
Along with an RBI, Nolan cuts off the throw
Oh.
home that might have caused an out. Nolan just jumped right in front of that ball. Maybe that's what he was pissed about.
Was that Nolan?
Oh no, it
I
was
thought
Dean
his
Palmer. You're right.
yeah,
Yep, it was
I
Dean
think
Palmer.
I think I think Nolan was backing the fucking plate up or something.
Yep, that's what was happening.
Let's just be
Dipshit.
honest. Juan Gonzalez is not out there for his fielding, okay?
For a big guy, Juan Gonzalez had a hell of an arm. Like he's
Oh, he's
not
got a
so
fucking
bad out there.
arm. Yeah, he's got a fine arm, but hey, no fucking like
Led
Barry
the league in
Windham in
homers in
'87
'93.
out there. He's not
Yeah,
smooth and fluid.
yeah. Led the league in homers in '93. Juan Gonzalez. Ooh, that was well inside. Took him right
Uh-oh.
off the bag, off the plate.
That's a
Steve
curve,
Sachs.
man.
That's Hawk's pick to click.
That is, yes. Also a member of the Springfield nuclear power plant team.
Yes, he was. Yes, did not imbibe in the hair tonic.
What was his deal?
I don't remember. I remember Mattingly was the sideburns and Ken Griffey
Yeah,
Jr.'s was the tonic. But I don't remember if Steve Sachs even had something.
because Sosha was the guy that just wanted to do all the blue collar jobs.
Yep.
Yeah, Nolan's struggling early on here.
Really, the control is just not there. He's all over the place.
My bunghole's loose, Gabe. I gotta
Let me,
tighten it
let me
up.
grab let me grab this rosin bag and throw it around a little bit. Maybe that'll tighten her up a little bit, chalk her up a bit. So let me shove this thing down my pants. Big
Where's
big
Canseco?
big patch on the side of 21-year-old Pudge Rodriguez's face because he had a
My,
broken jaw and had surgery.
I thought he got stabbed with a fork by Abdullah the Butcher or something.
Low and outside for ball 3 to Steve Sachs. You know why they call Pudge Pudge?
I would guess it's got something to do with Carlton Fisk.
Nope. It's just because he's short and fat.
Oh, okay. Why didn't they just call him Chode?
Oh, Steve Sachs. Oh, Dean Palmer let that
Oh,
just let that run right between his legs.
my
Um,
God. Look at
oh,
Gonzalez throw it into the fucking ground.
and did you see we had our first uh, uh, ability to read lips on that one, and Dean Palmer let out a fuck.
I did not catch that. I'm glad you did. Is that Kevin Kennedy in the Rangers dugout? Oof. Jesus Christ, Dorn, get in front of the goddamn ball.
10 points to Gryffindor. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, you're right. It was a terrible throw. Just terrible.
Good God.
It is. It's 2-0
Uh,
White Sox in the top of the first. Oh my goodness! And Dan Pasqua at the bat. And you're right, looking a whole hell of a lot like Ron Kittle tonight.
Doesn't he? Jesus. He's fucking jacked. He's got the glasses. He's batting left-handed. I mean, come on.
He is. He's a big man. Like, he's a big dude.
There was a lot of candidates for the Kisser of the Week.
It's like this time frame, late 80s, early 90s. There's just so much nonsense.
You know, I heard a very interesting point that I never thought of when the last Laps fan, when Jack talked about how everybody used to smoke, and that's the big difference. People look younger now because not as many people smoke, and cigarettes age you so much. I never thought of that.
I never would have thought of that myself. Joey Cora, safe
Ooh.
at second base. Stolen
Safe.
base.
I was
Oh,
about
no,
to call
Steve Sax.
Pudge. I was about to call Pudge the hose. I mean, that's a fucking laser.
Oh, it was just a bad tag. Like, the
Oh
tag didn't make
yeah,
contact. If he had been better on the
uh,
contact there, he would
he
he
got on
would
the
not
wrong side
have.
of the bag.
Yep. Dan Pasqua. Boy, oh boy. Oh. Dan Pasqua does not agree that was a strike, I believe.
He's got something to say about it, Gabe.
With his stature, he can intimidate an umpire. With the glasses on, not as much.
Got him a nice chaw in.
It was right at the knees. That was a strike.
Maybe we could get a like beach nut sponsorship or something on the show. Sit here and just chew fucking logs all game.
I have absolutely no interest in that, but I did see an advertisement. Lance Johnson in batting 386 on the year. People, it is August.
Don't fuck it
He
up,
grounds out,
Dean.
and Dean redeems himself a bit. Gets the out there. I saw an advertisement today. Now they have coffee grounds in little pouches for you to put inside your lip.
Why?
Yeah, because somehow you're going to ingest more caffeine that way.
Fine. Who's this joker? Donald Harris.
Never heard of her.
Alex Fernandez looking rotund on the mound.
Big guy, another big guy. He's got to be 6'3", 6'4". He's got a lot of meat on him.
Not nearly as much meat as Wilson Alvarez, however.
No one has quite that much meat.
The White Sox had some.
Except for the Terminator.
That's just because he's got a bunch of Big Macs.
No, he's just got a giant cock.
The hose.
The hose.
Why do you think they call me the hose?
It's certainly not because I see a lot of hoes. I love my wife.
Yes. That's a very tall couple. 6'5" and 6'1".
Yeah, like my the girl that I was engaged to when I was in high school was 6 feet tall. Her name was Jenny. And I always thought it was so cool that I was with a girl that was 6 feet tall. She was out of her fucking mind, though.
You can see why
That's
Frank's
why they
sitting.
sat Frank. He was 0 for 12 in his career against Nolan Ryan.
with 11 strikeouts.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So get our answer there. A strong crowd in Arlington tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people in the crowd. But you said it in the preamble here. Nolan brought him into the ballpark.
This is also, yeah, and a battle of first and second place division rivals. The Rangers only 2.5 games out at this point.
Yep. And it's a strikeout for old Fernandez. Donald
Donald
Harris
says no. He says that's
not
bullshit.
agreeing with the call on strike 3.
That's strike
But it
three.
was at the letters. That's a strike.
Wimpy's calling it a high strike.
It
Looks like
was
it's
it
a
was it was between the number and the letters on the uniform. It was a little high, but not too high.
fucking bell. I don't know about Wimpy.
Yeah, Tom Paciorek, again, another Doug Strange in the batter's box. And he looks it too.
Not just a clever nickname.
Low and inside, 2-1. No, Tom Paciorek, again, loved or hated in Chicago, but Wimpy was never anything without Hawk, right? Like, unless the two of them were together, he never had any success, at least in the broadcasting realm.
In life. Dial it up, brother. Dial it in. What? Dude.
If they're gonna win this thing, they got to get it back on track.
Call Jimmy, dude. Rest tired bullpen. Bullpen is tired. Tom Hinkie is worn out. The hose is drained. What would you do if it said the hose is drained on that screen?
Oh my god! Rafael Palmeiro up, looking very well. Rafael Palmeiro,
Looking like he's about to destroy the rest of his life.
full of wellness is Rafael Palmeiro.
He is enhanced.
Just he shoots the syringe directly into his mustache.
God, you think Jose does it for him?
It's either Jose or Jose B. I'm not sure which.
It's not the super sock.
Let's ask Tom. Tom, where do you put the syringe? I put it directly in the hose.
You fill the hose up with the syringe. Go, Kark's coming up.
Kark's coming up. We got Cuck coming up to the plate.
Cuck of ass. I got a feeling Cuck's gonna strike out.
No mustache on Cuck this time around.
This son of a bitch has got 13 homers. Are you kidding me?
He's got a beefy little stance. He's always kind of a mid-range home run hitter.
I don't remember that. I remember him being like a 3 home run guy or something. I just, you guys might have won the American League if you had a catcher.
I mean, Fisk is on the bench. He's just sitting there waiting for a reason to be in a game. I think he had played about 17 games at this point this season.
He's sitting over there telling people what they should and shouldn't think. 2 for 14. So Cuck's not doing great. Just thinking about the deli. Oh.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Ugly swing at an ugly ball that he shouldn't have swung at.
He got fucked. Ooh.
Tried to pull it in, and it was far too late. And Cuck takes a seat.
He's at the plate, and he's thinking, I wonder what it would be like if I put pastrami and ham and turkey on a sourdough and we painted it with some honey mustard. That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about
up to bat.
His deli sandwiches at Ron's Big League Deli in Orlando.
Ozzy just wants a Cubano. It's a delicious sandwich with ham and mustard.
Yankees leading the Blue Jays 1-0 in the Yankee Stadium.
Tigers up on the Tribe 6-1.
The inaugural season of Camden Yards. Gijan.
Dan Peltier under that one, and
He's a
Ozzie
Notre Dame
Guillen was
graduate.
retired.
Went to Notre Dame, Gabe. I don't know if you fucking heard Hawk. He said it again, God damn it, because you didn't hear him.
Notre Dame, about 35 miles from where I grew up.
Oh. Did you ever attend a game?
Never did. I've never been to a football game, either collegiate or pro.
Lifetime in your life?
Never.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh. Looked like he was looking to bunt on that one, and he just decided against it when he saw that it was high and outside.
Rock Reigns.
28,143 in attendance for this game. That is a huge number.
It's like a Cotton Bowl show. We used to draw 30 in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh. There's some fucking Clydesdales around here. We in St. Louis. It is clacking.
Wimpy's pick to click is aboard.
On the road. Royals not too good on the road. 2 games under 500. You know, the White Sox got a lot of speed on the team.
Yeah, Joey Cora is insanely fast. Actually, I remember on that Ken Griffey Jr. game, when I would make the White Sox my team, right? Joey Cora was always Justin Basilisco. Justin Basilisco was this Italian kid that actually was. I mentioned Wes Seidelman on the last podcast. Wes and Justin were cousins, and they were both incredible athletes at that age. And Justin was very, very speedy.
Oh, okay. A little power and lightning combination. Diminutive fella, huh?
Diminutive, if you will.
He's like smoke through a keyhole.
Matt Marullo on deck once again. 1 for 1 on the night. Ryan wants a different ball.
His ball's too loose.
You can see the sweat on his neck.
He had
one of the girls. He had one of the girls cut his hair in the clubhouse. You can see that razor line on his neckline there.
He's absolutely
way too neat not to have had it done this afternoon.
He's absolutely getting his hair cut in the clubhouse. Uh-oh.
And that's the inning.
That'll do it.
Bottom of the second.
Hey, we got
Juan Gonzalez up next. He's the home run leader in the league at this point in the year, I believe, as well. But just, man, the mustaches. My God, the mustaches on this team. Just strong mustache game on the Texas Rangers in 1993.
There was a lot of that in the world. You know, Juan Gonzalez, the owner of a very infamous rookie card.
Yeah,
you familiar?
Yes. And also the owner of a very infamous nickname in the clubhouse as well. Old Tom Hankey is the hose. Juan Gonzalez, known as Igor the Great. Ask me why they call him Igor the Great, Blake.
Does Igor go to Notre Dame? Why do they call him Igor the Great?
Apparently, our friend Juan Gonzalez, big professional wrestling fan, big
Lucha?
fan of Igor, the mighty Igor. Was his
Okay.
favorite wrestler, and so he insisted that his teammates call him Igor the Great.
What do you know about the mighty Igor? I don't know much, if anything.
Not a ton. I know he was a real ugly guy,
Okay.
and Jim Cornette talks a lot about him. So that's about the extent of my knowledge
You see
of.
these people?
I do.
Those are very 1993 looking people.
The old man kind of looked like a vampire.
He looked like he was dressed exclusively from the Arizona Jeans Company and J.C. Penney's.
J.C. Penney's, yes, absolutely. Oh,
Oh,
see, and
uh-oh.
that's another thing right there,
Yep,
right? Like you're gonna hit Juan Gonzalez
yep.
in the inning before because we're coming up on it, folks. We're
That's
about
it.
6 minutes away from the happening. Um, what's keeping Nolan from retribution in the next inning?
The thing I will say here is, typically if a guy throws another guy, he's not throwing a changeup at him. So that's what I would say here for this. But yes, definitely there. I think there will need to be payback.
Julio Franco up. You're right, looking much older than his 32 years.
Yeah, I I feel like with Julio, you might be able to add a decade. There's no way he's not at least 38 or 9 at a minimum.
The White Sox and your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers teaming up in 1993. Your chance to win a Plymouth Duster as a White Sox fan in 1993.
I feel like I'm hearing gunshots in the background in Arlington. I wonder if it's just some cowboys going crazy shooting off 6 shooters in the air.
Just Yosemite Sam out in center field. Pew, 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 pew.
Hey, George W.'s there.
He is there.
Yeah, he's quoted as saying that he was thinking about jumping out there in the middle of the brawl, but he saw Frank Thomas or some bullshit like
Bo
that.
Jackson. Bo
Yeah,
Jackson.
Bo Jackson,
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah.
Bo knows.
I tell you what, Bo don't give a fuck. I love Bo.
I don't know what I said that triggered my Alexa in the background, but I said something and Alexa went off.
Probably has something to do with Bo Jackson.
Alexa knows.
Franco's got some bad knees. That's because he's 42. He's been playing baseball for 27 years.
Baseball's been very, very good to him.
Yeah, Sammy's where's Sammy? He's got to be on one of these two fucking teams at this time, right?
Uh,
Wasn't he a White Sox? He was a White
no, he
Sox in
must
the
have
early
moved on
90s.
from the team at this point. I think 90 or yeah, no, it must have been 92. But yeah, no, he's not on the roster for the White Sox.
Huh. Oh, Julio's not running that out. He wasn't even fucking close. I tell you, man, this looks like a fine place to watch a ball game. I bet it's hot as fuck there. Almost
91
100
degrees.
degrees. Do we know what the temperature was this night?
Yeah, it was 90 when the game started.
Oh, yeah, 92. That's right. Yep.
Yep. Old Pudge up to bat, looking a much more svelte version than the one that we're used to. 21 years old, Pudge
Oh,
Rodriguez, and
nice.
that's a base hit.
Pudge Rizzle. Here comes Dino
Dean Palmer.
Machino.
Dean Palmer coming up to the the plate and a real chance to make up for his bullshit in the last inning.
The Rangers a season away from some brand new uniforms too. They're gonna have those red unis in '94.
Oh, they did, didn't they? I
Yeah,
could
when
I
they
could
moved to the
see him in my
ballpark.
head when I closed my eyes. What a shame.
'94 is a very transformative year. Two nothing, bottom of the second, two men down.
Oop.
Look at Pasqua and Pudge and Pasqua. Raines and Robinson and Reagan, Pudge and Palmer. Oof. There's some movement on that ball. They call that some hair on it, Gabe. That ball had some hair on it.
Boston leading Minnesota 5-0 in the fourth tonight. Ooh, low and outside.
93.
Trying to get him to
Both
chase something there, I think.
both of those teams doing nothing around this time.
Yeah, nothing.
Ooh. Angels coming to town for a weekend series.
California Angels. Oop.
Uh-oh. That wouldn't happen today with the netting up. I hate the fucking netting, okay? I'm going to say that right now. I get it. Whatever. Fuck off.
There's a significant dumbing down that's happened
Yes.
everywhere, and that is just one of the more in your face versions of that. Rain's underneath it. That's a fly out for old Dean Palmer.
Hey, Dean
And
guides the warning track.
we've got about a minute and a half before this gets real interesting. Got Matt Marullo up first, followed by our boy Robin Ventura.
Nolan
How is
also
that
was
not a balk?
nobody on base, so it didn't matter.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine.
Donald
Here we
under it.
go. Now, I will say, as we await Robin Ventura coming up to bat for his second at bat of the game,
Mm-hmm.
he is leaning hard over the plate at this at bat. Like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
posture looks unnatural in this at bat.
Well, yeah, he always had kind of that stance, and
Yeah,
I think what I there it is,
there it is. Nailed him
and
right on the number 3. Hat goes, helmet
boom,
goes down,
boom,
and
boogie
1,
one, boogie
2,
two.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 or 7 punches
Good
right to the
God,
face.
good God
Both benches are
Almighty,
gone.
good God, that man has been broken. He's got a family. My God.
You got Pudge in there holding Nolan back. Pudge was
Uh-oh.
on a couple of talk shows recently, like in the last 10 years
Look
or
at
so, like some of those, like Rich Eisen or one
uh-huh.
of those talking about this. And he talks about his jaw, what happened to his jaw, and how freaked out he was. And he didn't want any part of any of the action because he was afraid somebody was going to fuck up his jaw again.
Yes, yeah. That'd be a very real concern. There's Jeff Russell. He's fucking hot.
He's super hot, having to get held back by somebody that looks just like old Tom with his glasses.
Holy shit. Look at that hairline on Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
And look at that Superman Jerry curl on Robin Ventura.
I mean, Nolan beat his ass.
He really did. Just rebuttoning his shirt. Ventura's breathing a little bit, trying to calm himself down. The umps are all talking to
There's
Nolan, just kind of
Blackjack.
like, "Hey man, like relax. Everything's going to be just fine." Because it's the 1990s, and in sports, if you have a name in the 1990s, you don't get kicked out of ball games.
Uh-oh.
Yep, Gene Lamont talking, yapping Uh, but apparently, and this comes from an interview I think both of us watched at one point with Nolan. After the game, there's Bo Jackson holding people back as well, like just trying to be the peacekeeper here and not wanting anybody to get hurt. It's absolutely hilarious
Bo
how
is
much
pushing
control
people
Bo Jackson
around.
is in of everything that he's a part of. Like the strength there is just insanity. But that's Terry Bevington out there too. Um, yep, one of the
Oh
coaches from the bench for the
God,
Rangers. I think it's the first base coach.
it's Mickey Hatcher.
Got a get a little cut over his right eye. Um, in the interview after the game, Nolan Ryan was talking, and somebody asked about what Gene Lamont did to Reese Trigger, and he said, it wasn't Gene Lamont. Uh, Blackjack McDowell, dipshit, was like behind a bunch of other players running his mouth, and Nolan got real pissed off and chased after him. And Gene just happened to be the one that looked like he was the instigator, but no, it was Blackjack McDowell and his dumbass.
Mhm. Yeah. He gets away with everything like he's God. He just out there doing whatever he wants. That's just not cool, man. There's Craig Lefferts.
Nolan looking upset, tucking his shirt back in. Gene
So
Lamont,
Robin's gonna get tossed.
yeah, Robin's already been tossed, and I believe Gene Lamont's going to get tossed too here. But Nolan, after punching Robin Ventura in the face 6 times, he stays in the ball game.
Yes, he gets to stay in the ball game because he did nothing but defend himself. Ventura charged at him. He was just standing on the mound. That was the rationale from the umpires. I read
Mm-hmm.
the read an
Yeah, me
article
too.
said not going to toss somebody for defending themselves. They
Never
also,
even a discussion, as I recall. He
yeah,
the
and
ooh,
you
right on
notice
the
how
three.
he takes a couple steps and goes. There's a prevailing thought that the White Sox had some pact to storm the mound the next time one of them gets hit by Nolan Ryan. One of the umpires brought that up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because he does start down to first base, and then it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I got to do this.
Yeah. What a dipshit looking face he's got, though, man.
Oh yeah, no,
Don't you
Gene
just want
Lamont's
to?
face is
No,
just.
Robin.
Oh, Robin. Oh yeah. No, you know what? He's so young here. I think he's
Yeah.
24 or 26. It's like there's just no character in his face. It's just vanilla.
He looks like a bitch, and he got treated like such.
He did get treated like a bitch. There's no doubt. He tried. It's actually really funny. He tried to punch up and it's like he just pokes Nolan in the forehead with his fingers.
Look, if you're not gonna go to beat the fucking life out of somebody, don't go at them
Don't do
because
it. Yeah,
you're just gonna get
why
your
did he
ass
duck?
kicked.
Why did he
Yeah,
duck instead of just going full Luthez press on his ass? Right? Like you
yeah.
jump and you straddle and you hope that you fall in the right place. If you're going to try to go after and fight somebody, actually fucking do it.
You run at them full speed, and then you dive with a forearm onto their knee, and you tear their ligaments, and then you put them in the figure four leg lock for about 2 to 3 minutes. And don't let them reverse it on you because all the tension will go back on you, and
Yeah,
then you're fucked.
you flips the tension and then you're the one hurting.
You're
You don't want
screaming.
that. Right. Ah god. Ah god. Ah shit.
Ah, God. Ah, shit. Ah, God. Gene
Looks
Lamont
like
won't
Ned,
stop.
old Ned here is about to get tossed too because he won't well enough alone and just let the game move on because he wants Nolan kicked out of the game too.
Nice marble banner back there.
Ah, it's just beautiful. I mean, again, like the same thing with the Winston ads last week. Like there should just even if they're for fake cigarettes, there should be cigarette ads in every ballpark in America.
hmm Oh, there it is.
There. Oh, bye bye. Okay. Yep. Like he didn't expect to get kicked, and it wasn't even him chasing after the ball players. It was him just telling the umpire to get fucked.
Must use the magic word.
Uh huh.
Uh-oh. The announcers are Champion Gene.
Yeah. Again, like it's what it's why some people hate him and some people love him. Hawk is such a homer. He's 100% on the side of the White Sox all the time, even if they're in the wrong. Not that they're ever in the wrong.
Sure, sure. You know, the question I got to ask myself, if Frank Thomas didn't have the day off, Frank is batting, leading that inning off, and not Matt Morello. And
Yep.
Nolan's not going to throw out Morello because he's a nobody. So Ventura is the next guy that's something. If that was Frank Thomas, is Nolan going to put the ball in Frank's side?
Ooh. Um. I mean, if I'm Nolan Ryan, I don't do it. Right? I mean, you
I
got to look
mean,
in those eyes and wonder if he's going to react. If I pitch at him, if I hit this big son of a bitch, am I going to feel the big hurt?
and they pick him off.
Wow.
Graybeck, it's fucking Graybeck. That's the shithead that starts the whole thing. 1990. Got picked
Craig
off. Look at
Graybeck.
that.
My
Fuck you,
goodness.
Craig, you bitch. I'm Craig Graybeck. Fuck you. I'm an asshole. Ha
Now
ha.
that guy's got a face too. Boy, oh boy, he looks like a little fucking weasel, doesn't he?
Looks like a rascal.
Yeah, Pudges. Boy, oh boy. Oh no, he was safe.
Yeah, he might have been.
Yeah, no, that would have been reversed today.
I think the
That's
throw
funny
beat
though.
it, but
Boy,
the
oh boy.
tag
I
was
mean,
not there.
look, the momentum's just all with Texas from here on in the rest of
Yeah.
this game. Like
Yeah.
it's like a tale of two very different ball games before and after this because White Sox were all over them. And then it's like punching Robin Ventura in the face gave Nolan Ryan every bit of energy and confidence that he ever could have possibly needed.
It got my bunghole tight, Gabe. Got it where it needed to be. Yeah, the play. I mean, he has to hit Frank because they hit Gonzalez. That's their top guy. You have to hit their top guy, and it's Frank. It's not Ventura. But if
Mm-mm.
Frank's not in there, it's Ventura. So I think Nolan would have done the right thing. Think how different history would have been. Frank Thomas storming that mound.
Frank Thomas storms the mound,
I think
as
Nolan
he
still
has
would
in the
have got him.
past, grabs him by the shoulder, throws him to the ground, kicks him in the ribs 3 times, and then grabs him by the face and says, "Do you know what you've done?" And Nolan says, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry."
I'm not even in my car,
And
Frank.
then Frank gets back in his Beamer and runs over Nolan Ryan. That's the end of the Ryan Express. He's dead on the field.
He sells him Nugenics.
How he got the Beamer on the field is beyond me, but it's Frank Thomas. Nobody really asks any questions.
He probably had some help from Klondike Bill.
Probably so.
Bash stop. Who's this guy? Mario Diaz. Mario's batting 287 on the year. Not exactly sure what the hell he's been up to, but it looks like no good. Mario, 287, 15 ribbies on the year. Gonna take a looping curveball from Alex Fernandez. 1-0 count. Mario looks like he has done a hard time in San Quentin, possibly Tijuana, and Monterrey.
And I'm certain that the mustache is what contributed to that bloop single into center field.
Super Mario.
See, the trumpets are playing it at Arlington Stadium too.
Mm-hmm. Julio.
Julio
Oh, that's not
Franco.
Julio. I
Oh
thought that
no,
was Julio. It's
is this the
Donald
leadoff guy
Harris.
again? Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
leadoff guy we don't know.
Donald Harris, center fielder. I got a feeling about Donald. I want to see what he do with his life.
Well, thus far he's struck out in the first. We know that much about him.
Yes. Uh-oh. Donald Harris obituary.
Ah, you hate to see it. Donald Harris flies out.
No, he's still alive. He has a foundation. He
Gray back there forgot that there were still a runner on base and decided just to run the ball in before realizing his mistake. What a dipshit!
This is Donald's only season in the majors.
Ah, poor Donald. We
He's
got Doug Strange up to bat one more time here.
he grew up in
Dr.
Waco.
Strange takes the first one. It's 1-0.
Oh, how about this though? He was the number 5 overall pick in the 1989 draft. So Donald was a bust.
What's real fascinating about baseball drafts is just the massive amount of player pool that they have to pull from, and how
Mm,
early these drafts happen, especially now. How
yeah.
early these teams are able to draft these kids. It's just like from the trading card sort of game that's out there. Like what I've learned is that like you might be drafting a 17-year-old kid that's a junior in high school, and they won't see major league play for 5 or 6 years after you draft them. It's
If at
just like,
all.
if at all, yeah. And I guess that's my point, is that there's just such a huge draft pool that like it's lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? You have to just be really really good at catching lightning in a bottle if you're going to be any good as a scout in Major League Baseball. I don't understand, just with the massive amount of kids that you got to look at, how anybody's always like consistently successful. It's beyond me. What Baltimore in the last 2 or 3 years have done with their farm system and their ability to pick the right picks year over year over year is fascinating. And as a result, they're in such a good spot right now.
Yeah, you got to get the picks right. That's what it's all about. If you get the picks right, there's enough fucking guys, and you know, but
Got
you just can't
Pasqua,
tell with especially younger high school age kids and shit how they're going to turn out.
Dan Pasqua leading off this inning for the White Sox, and that ball's in the dirt. Hey, I said that first.
Did you notice the tagline in left field for the Rangers, the Feel the Power?
I did not
There's a
know.
banner hanging over the fence.
How can you read that? Like the quality on this video is so terrible. I can
Oh,
I can kind of see it.
no,
I see it better now.
it was earlier, like during an angle. Somebody threw over to first base or something, and they had a angle that shot out there. Get back, Donald. Uh oh. What do we got here?
What catcher caught the most no-hitters during his career?
I'm gonna say Bob Boone.
Jeff Torborg.
I guess they already know the answer, so it's Torborg. Dale Torborg's father.
Yeah, that's a story we never followed up on after last week. During last week's show, Dale Torborg played a well. He played in the major leagues too, right? A couple of years.
No, he was
Just a coach.
wasn't he like a race car driver or some bullshit?
Well, either way, he was a professional wrestler. He wrestled as a licensed character by the rock and roll band Kiss,
Mm-hmm.
and he wrestled as the Kiss Demon. So essentially, he wrestled as Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons
He was the
um,
god of
complete.
thunder.
complete with platform boots. Yep. Well, Cuck is back 0 for 1 on the night
Cook is
with
back.
those deep, deep acne scars on his cheeks.
Back again. Back again to offend.
I assume at this point, in the evening on my 10th birthday, I was passed out on the floor in the living room after eating far too much chocolate cake.
That's probably a fair assessment.
Old Gabe's 10th birthday this night. Probably wasn't paying too much attention to baseball.
What'd you get for your birthday this year, if you had to guess?
Wow, let's think about that for a second. Well, what year did Super Mario Brothers 3 come out?
89.
Mario Brothers 3 came out in 89?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Okay. I would imagine it was a video game of some kind, whether it was for Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis is kind of up in the air, but I'm sure it was one of the two. I really did enjoy, I think around this time, do you remember the video game Jam It?
Jam it.
So
I don't
it
think
was a
so.
Sega video game, and it used a lot of the same sort of like graphic sort of stuff that Mortal Kombat did, but it was a 2-on-2 street basketball game.
Oh, yes. I think I played that maybe.
So like there were real people, right?
Yes, yes.
But it was like 2-on-2 street basketball with like chain nets and whatnot. And
Uh
Rafael
huh.
Palmeiro was back up. You can smell the juice in the air.
The juice from the steroids. I see. Yes. I didn't know if there was some other type of citrus or
Yeah, no, it was a steroid joke.
Rafael Palmeiro's steroid juice fragrance. Smells like
The beach.
It's exactly what I was going to say.
It's an objectionable smell.
I definitely wasn't going to say it smelled like mustaches.
It's better than the beach.
I tell you, Hawk and Wimpy just, I don't know about them. They're a little too yucky for me.
No, you know what we call that? It's so for the uninitiated, I worked in radio for about 7 years between the ages of 16 and 24, and you're absolutely dead on. Pachoric and Ken Harrelson both are what we call pukers in the business. A little bit like what's his name?
Darren Drozdoff.
Uh,
He's gotta he's gotta puke. He's gotta puke.
it's just like that. It's like fastball, like that, right? Like all
Yeah.
of this weird emphasis in places that it shouldn't be, and it sounds vaguely unnatural most of the time
I'm a
because it
creepy
is.
pervert. I talk like this.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yep. Puking directly into the microphone. That's what we would call it. They're pukers.
I have something to hide.
It's classic rock 94.7. Got music on the way from Led Zeppelin. Kiss is next right here, Rock 94.7. Let's go.
Did your video cut out?
It sure did.
Yes. We'll get through this, I
There we
hope.
go. It's coming back here in a second. I think we're going to get a trivia trove answer in a moment. I think we might have gone to commercial and they forgot to cut the commercials out. So to this time, we'll tell you that, something. I don't know.
Please stand by. Are you back? I'm back.
There we
You
go.
back?
We're back. Dan, I think it's Dan Pasqua back.
Yep.
Big Dan Pasqua. What the name sounds familiar to me, and like I vaguely recognize his face, but what? Tell me about Dan Pasqua.
What about him? Like he's Ron fucking Kittle. He was what I know of Dan Pasqua's. He's a left-handed power bat that kind of filled the gap between. He's the first base right fielder. There's Donald back under the ball. Gonna put that one away. Number 5 overall pick. Oh, Trivia Trove's back. Answer is. Did that? This thing just rewound on us, didn't it? Are we going through
Yes,
deja
sure
vu?
did.
Is this
Oh,
fucking
that's so
Mormon
funny.
deja vu here? What's
It
happening,
really is. This has
brother?
actually happened to us in the pre-existence.
Oh God, my
Correct.
reality's
Yeah.
spinning, dude.
Uh-huh. Oh man. Thanks, YouTube.
All
Let's
right, one
see here.
dog back. This has got to be right. It's presented in its most complete form.
It's like it is. It's like the WWE Network. The confidence with which they. Yeah, no. We're back to normal. This is where we were.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had
Yeah,
2
I don't remember
outs.
him running in to catch that ball. I think what happened is they were just repeating the question. They weren't going to give us the answer yet.
Is that? Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Well, he
We
said the
actually did
same
rewind.
bullshit though, didn't
Yep.
they? About Bob Boone.
Yep. No. We rewound because it just said that Kark was 0 for 1. And this would definitely be his third at bat if this was real. Well, you know why Tom Paciorek laughs like that, right?
Why is that, Gabe? Please tell me.
Well, see, it came to light later in the early 2000s that Tom Paciorek was, no, I'm just going to say it. He got diddled by somebody, and he talks about it in quite a bit later on in life, and it makes perfect sense why he is the way he is.
Whoa.
Now, that's
Yes.
not to say that that we condone the
No.
diddling of
Nope.
anybody,
We
but
do not.
but
We
it happens, and there are repercussions to the diddling. And Tom Paciorek is the poster child for, why you shouldn't diddle.
That's why you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
And
fucking
there's the
do it.
blackjack on the bench with his goofy ass goatee after talking shit to Nolan Ryan from behind 3 or 4 other guys.
Hey, didn't Blackjack have like a garage band, a grunge band of his own?
I have no idea, but that sounds completely and totally accurate. It looks like we got
Ooh.
a little bit of a commercial there, and then it went back to the game. I was very excited.
Almost had a commercial, didn't we?
Rafael Palmeiro at bat. Really good looking ballpark. Man, oh man.
Kind of looks like Yankee Stadium a little bit. I mean, without the top. Like,
Yeah. That completely blank blue wall out there. Gorgeous.
the only thing that would be better is if it was full of the logos of the MLB teams. Not a bunch of fucking advertisements for horse shit. I don't even know what it is. Stiefel Insurance. Fuck off.
You know what would make this game better is a pitch clock.
Yeah. I was thinking to myself, these men are moving at a pretty decent pace here.
Yeah, no, they're moving right along. They really are. I mean, we're
This is about where it fucked up.
Well, that's good. At least we're back to to real time.
What do you think happened in the rest of the world while we just relived these last 4 minutes over again? What if there was some sort of nuclear catastrophe and we just isolated ourselves by relooping in time somehow?
I mean, did
That's a
did the
lot.
loop include just the two of us, or is it like the other people that are in the household where we're recording?
I got my door shut, so I feel like it's probably just in here with me.
Oh, okay. All right. So you just killed my child, is what you're telling me? You're telling my kid's dead?
Brother, I didn't say that, dude. No. Oh, you're putting words in my mouth now, man. I'm saying I'm saying it's something through like the internet waves and that kind of shit. You
Mm-hmm.
know, stuff. You could find things out on Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s website about. I heard he's going to try to reanimate Gary Carter.
Love child of Scott Bakula and Cowboy Bob Orton.
Ace,
Ace. That's right.
Ace
Go look
Cowboy.
it up and tell me I'm wrong. You said Larry David, not Scott Bakula, and I think that's right on. But if maybe somewhere in the middle, like all three of them
Maybe the
somehow
three way.
procreated.
Maybe that's the secret to male procreation. Male procreation. You need a third male, a conduit for the semen to pass through. That's great shit, pal. I love it.
See, this is the kind of sauce that gets made uh, uh, when when you get stuck in a time loop on a YouTube video, or when there's three men in the same room.
Juan batting 332 on the year.
Juan Gonzalez was hit by a pitch in the second inning. He is not hit by a pitch during this at bat, though. I don't believe.
I bet it doesn't happen
Although
again.
if I were Mr. Fernandez, I would absolutely hit him.
I got a question for you.
Mm.
Have you ever, at any point in your life, when you're watching some old video or something like this, an old event, something that's already happened, has it ever crossed your mind that at some point, like the video would stop and everybody in it turns and looks at you and directly speaks to you and they say something like, "Wake up, what the fuck are you doing? You gotta wake up," or something like that. Have you ever thought as you're watching something that this could possibly happen or been worried about it at all?
No.
Okay.
But the closest I have to that is like when I was a kid, when I was like 13 or 14, when I first learned to jerk off. um,
Yeah. So you're 18, 19, right? Okay.
fuck off. No, like the go-to fantasy was, what if I could stop time and manipulate those around me the way I wished to,
Oh,
like
okay.
that,
So, uh-huh.
because this was a time like my dad and mom didn't have porn in the house for me to find, right? And I'm 13 or 14, so I can't really go buy it. Just not possible. And this is a little pre-internet for me. So that, yeah, I mean, internet was at its early stages and we were poor, so we didn't even have dial-up yet. So like porn just wasn't an option. So I had to use the old noggin quite a bit. So that's the closest I got for you. No, I wasn't worried about tape stopping and turning it, but I was worried about stopping time for masturbatory purposes.
Now, are you stopping time and controlling things so you can manipulate these
Get a
people and their
nut,
person?
correct? Any
Are
any yes. Mm-hmm.
like 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 you're going to move them like this lady into the path of your penis type thing, or you're going to place her mouth on it, or you're just going to be invisible and you can like jerk off in her bathroom and watch her.
Can I just say yes? Because
All the above.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. If you're going to do one, you're going to do all those.
tell me what your timestamp is because I accidentally hit my space bar.
Uh-oh. Uh Hang on, I got to blow it up, I think.
You're all right. Yep.
Took me forever to get it to that. 103, 46, 47, 48, 49.
Where are you now?
103, 57, 58, 59, 104, 01,
All
02,
right, good. I
03.
think we're good. Yep. He's about to pitch to Julio Franco and low and outside.
Yep.
All right, good. We're back. Yeah, no, yes, all of that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Squirrel trying to get a nut.
Please understand, this was 27 years ago, back in the days when, and I was 13, so there's no ill intent here. I also don't have the ability to stop time to make these things happen, so I am not a predator.
Sure. Well, if it ever
You'd be
happens, I
able to
know where
tell if I
I'm.
was a predator by my face.
That's true. Well, if I ever hear this happening, I know the first place I'm coming.
You know, I'm coming all over the place. So
It's multiple samples. That's too
Nolan Ryan
bad.
could not catch a break in the first inning, says Tom Paciorek.
And they laugh about it. What a couple smarmy assholes these two are.
Yeah, I like Hawk, but everybody seemed to like the combination of Hawk and a Wimpy. I never cared for it. Darren Jackson was his partner late in his
Yeah.
career. I always liked DJ. Hawk and DJ were real good pairing. DJ always kind of grounded Hawk and pulled him back a bit.
Mm. How do you
Tom
feel about
Paciorek is just
Steve
too much of a
Stone?
pussy. That's why they called him Wimpy.
I thought he just liked hamburgers.
Hello, sir. I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Just please leave me alone.
The White Sox
Oh.
wives present Cruise with the Sox this Thursday. Your chance to head out onto the open seas of Great Lake Michigan with all your favorite Chicago White Sox. Boy, oh boy, I wish my parents had money.
What a journey that would have been. What's going on here?
Looks like Kark's getting taped up. Oh no, Pudge.
Pudge.
Pudge getting his
Taping his
fingers taped up.
are they taping his fingers so he can put his razor blade in there?
Look, man, if he were a real man, he would just start punching the side of the scar on the side of his face and bleed hard way for us. Mm-hmm.
That's not how you do it, by the way.
Find a pen underneath the announce table and just start stabbing yourself in the forehead.
You're supposed to do this. You do it like that. You go.
No, I'm convinced. I'm convinced he lost his razor and looked for something sharp and found a pen underneath the announce table. That's what I think happened.
Perfectly normal.
Oh, here we go. Here's the answer on our
Jeff
trivia trove.
Torborg. Hey, all right.
4 no hitters, one for
Sandy
Nolan, one for
Koufax.
Bill Singer, and 2 for Sandy Koufax.
Twice. These fuckers just laugh their asses off, don't they?
They really do. Joey Cora, breaking ball strike.
Was Hawk drunk? Does he drink during the broadcast?
Oh, I'm certain. Not drunk like Like what the fuck in Minnesota drunk. Bob Euchre. I don't think he's Bob Euchre drunk, but he's drunk.
Milwaukee.
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah, yeah. Milwaukee.
Euchre's a drunk?
Oh, legendary drunk. Yeah, he's been sober. He was sober like the last 10 years of his life. He's dead now, right?
Nah, he's still alive, I think.
Okay, yeah, no, he's sober now, but yeah, when he was
Oh,
announcing baseball, he's just shit faced all the time.
man,
The
that's a
the
fun
the
life.
the major league thing is not a
You
coincidence.
know, nobody has a bad thing to say about him. So
Lovely man. I would love to meet him.
it's fine to be a drunk if you carry yourself like that, right?
Streaks on the china, never met her before. Who cares? When you drop kick your jacket and you came through the door, no one stares. You know, no, Mr.
I don't
Belvedere?
know what that is. Oh, that's Mr. Belvedere? Yeah, I
The
know the
theme song to
show.
Mr. Belvedere.
I
Yeah.
didn't know the theme song, no, but
Uh huh.
I did like the show.
We might live the good life yet.
What? So Euchre was the dad on that, right?
Mm
Belvedere's his waiter, butler,
hmm.
whatever.
Butler. Yep.
Is there a mom?
There was a mom. Um, and very little revolved around mom on the show. It was mostly the relationship between Belvedere and Wesley.
That's not concerning at all.
Never really thought about it that way, but you are not incorrect.
Belvedere is a groomer, okay?
I would imagine that Wesley had to bring lots of accoutrement into Lynn Belvedere while he was in the bathtub.
Lynn Belvedere. Called him Lynn.
Yep. That's his name. His name was Lynn Belvedere.
Oh, Mr. Belvedere. Seems Mr.
Mr. Lynn Belvedere. Wesley, bring me my magazines.
Wesley, bring me my towel. I'm nude. You can hang it on this.
Wesley, bring me all of my fanciest soaps. And a bowl of oatmeal.
Wesley, bring me the chartreuse board.
Wait. Are you trying to say charcuterie?
Oh, is that what I said? Yeah.
Meat and cheese? That's what you're
My
thinking about?
my fucking eyes are burning. They're like so goddamn watery right now. I can't see.
No, it's still 2-0, middle of the fifth. A lot's got to change here very quickly because, as we know, the Rangers end up winning this ball game. So I'm assuming that something's got to give here pretty quickly.
We're gonna have to put our rally hats on.
So is that backwards and inside out, or just inside out?
I believe it is inside out and backwards, both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These fucking yeah. These allergies. My allergies are killing me. I don't think there's anything I hate worse than eye problems. The watery, itchy eyes. It's brutal.
So I'm a glasses wearer, but I only started wearing glasses in 2020 because my eyesight started failing, my far away sight.
Do you think it
And
could have
it gets
possibly
to
had
the
something to
point
do with
where, like,
COVID?
I'm sure it did. No, nothing at all. Actually, it was.
No.
I just noticed, like, driving at night, I couldn't read signs far off,
Yes.
like, anymore. Like, just I think it's just getting old. But
Yep. Yep.
uh, so I went and got glasses. But, like, by the end of the day, like, it's the best feeling in the world to take my glasses off because, like, my eyes hurt so bad from the strain. My prescription's probably wrong. It's probably my eyes are probably getting weaker. But, like, at the end of the day, it's just like the best part of the day is taking my glasses off.
Well, it's the absence of pain.
Wesley, bring me my glasses, please.
Wesley, put them on my face to take them off of my face. It is the best part of my day, other than when you touch my cock.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Lynn
you
Belvedere,
think?
groomer.
I wonder if nah, fuck it. I'm not gonna do that. It's the first show.
You're only going to get in trouble when you self-censor, Blake.
I can't. I can't hate myself anymore. I gotta
Oh
keep
my
moving.
goodness. Dean Palmer at the plate. What I've noticed here, okay, and this is I don't know. This is a little weird, but like there isn't one player on the field. And correct me if I'm wrong as we continue through the rest of the game as people come up to bat that has as nicely groomed a neckline than Nolan Ryan.
I'm gonna be
Sharp
honest.
corners, sharp edges.
Uh huh.
Everybody else is just like fluffy coming out the back of that helmet looking like a fucking scrub. And Nolan is out there looking 90-degree angles on the back of his head.
Well, he didn't have a lot of options either because his hairline is halfway gone. If his hair started behind his ears, um, so you kind of got to keep that back part clean or not there at all, or you're gonna look like a goddamn clown in a sewer trying to get wimpy down there. And Wesley,
We all float down here, as they say.
Wesley, we all float down here.
Life is more than mere survival.
You look down the sewer and you see four sets of eyes staring back at you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Lynn Belvedere, Wesley, Wimpy, and Pennywise the Clown. If somebody could draw that for us, I would really fucking appreciate it, okay? Put Gabe's glasses on Belvedere. Fuck it, put him on Wesley.
Make sure there's a towel rack in the background and a bowl of oatmeal.
A White Sox hat.
Peltier bunts that ball, and that advances the runners. That's a good sack bunt. We got runners at second and third.
3 pairs of wireframe glasses as well. Just one of them smashed.
Just a hanger hanging from the wall with a Ron Kittle jersey hanging on it.
Kittle.
Mario
Mario,
Diaz and his mustache.
he's all business, I'll tell you. He I'm not so I think Mario might have worked in WCW in the late 90s.
No, it was Norman Smiley.
Well, I think Conan brought him in.
2 outs, runners at second and third.
He came in with El Dandy and the whole
Mm.
LWO and the second
Mm-hmm.
the implosion with Art Garza and all of those fellas.
Cibernetico.
Cyclope, Viano
Cyclope.
4 and
Mm-hmm.
5.
Mm-hmm. The Vianos, is that what you said?
Yeah, Viano's 4
Oh,
and
yeah.
5.
Vianos 4 and 5. Yep, absolutely.
What about Silver King, the worst luchador of all?
I don't know. Do you remember Matematico?
No.
Yeah, dude had a silver mask and just a bunch of numbers on his face.
Man, I don't remember that at all.
Yep.
You're in bad shape if you remember something I don't.
I
I'm
watched a lot,
sure I
man.
got things like
I
that.
was I was watching. I was flipping back and forth between Raw and Nitro in the late '90s. I really was from like '96 on, but I think I stayed on Nitro more often than I stayed on Raw.
Yeah, you're gonna do that until they start talking about tits and coming, telling people to suck their cocks.
It's really interesting though, isn't it? Like that there was a phase in our lives where other kids, shouldn't say people, other kids at school were telling their teachers to suck their dicks.
I assumed we were going to continue with this for the rest of our time. I don't know why we took it away and said it was not okay anymore. If we did it in the 90s, I think we should be able to do it today. We're all a little more older and wiser, right? Should be able to handle more.
Oh no, the regression is real, and like man, I struggle with it so much on a day to day. Like the idea that people can handle less, um, anything nowadays,
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
and what that means. I know the argument of, well, people shouldn't have to, and we should be more enlightened and more aware and comfortable setting our boundaries and comfortable with respecting other people's boundaries and how we affect each other, and reconciling that with the idea that instead of progressing in a way that will allow us to understand the nuance between um, folks that are joking about things or being congenial in a folksy sort of way, and not having much of a filter, like us on this podcast, for instance, versus everything having the weight and gravity of, like, if we were on fucking Jupiter. Like, fucking somebody should be able to say "suck it" and it not be some sort of existential threat to somebody else.
Yeah, you.
And I hate the fact that I sound like a conservative saying that. But, like, come on, let's fucking lighten up.
I should be able to tell some bitch to suck my dick.
Grayback grounds out to start the sixth.
Yeah, I know what you're
Oh
saying, though.
man, you see, no,
There's
it's
a
perfect because you just illustrated it perfectly. Like,
yeah,
you don't even have to go any further.
but yeah, you shouldn't. I don't know. We should all be smart enough and responsible enough to be able to have nice things. But
Well, it's
should is
like
a
Taylor
dangerous
says, this
word.
is why we can't have nice things.
Oh,
Oh, well, see, he's throwing at people again, this son of a bitch.
yep, he's throwing it sexy. Announcers got awful quiet, didn't they?
They sure did, because I guarantee you Hawk turned off his microphone and he looked over at Tom and he said, well, this fucking son of a bitch throwing at
I
people again. He's lucky he doesn't get his ass handed to him. I'll hand his ass to him after the game.
That fucking tight bunghole bastard. I'm gonna loosen that son of a bitch up.
You can put that on the board. Yes.
Hey, that sounds great, Hawk. Oh, that was a grunt. Hear Nolan grunting?
We might just live the good life yet.
He really is Chet the Rocket Stedman. Oh, Rolls put one up on the Angels out in Anaheim. The
It
big
is
A opposed to
pretty
the little
crazy
A.
that this old man is able to pitch at the level he's able to pitch, even though he looks his age here. He really does.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hey, you cut a lot of brush out in that Texas sun, and you're gonna age the skin. Sax is pissed. Head to the bottom of the six.
That was a quick edit. Got Strange up the bat. What's Strange's story? I gotta look some stuff up about this Strange guy.
He's a utility man. He's a good stick. He's a gamer. He plays the ball game the right way, Gabe.
Doug
You know what that
Strange.
means, right?
Born April 13th, 1964. I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that I should type in his birth date thinking I'm going to get some information about him. Wow, it's late at night. Let's see here. Doug Strange.
Hey,
Let's
on
see, he
August
was
8th,
active
you
from
get a.
89 to 98. Native of Greenville, South Carolina, Doug Strange is an
Oh,
alumnus of North Carolina State University, where he played college
horseman country.
baseball for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. In 1984, he played collegiate summer baseball with the Falmouth Commodores of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Let's see here. Not a ton about him here because he's a completely uninteresting human being, apparently.
Yeah, because
Six
he didn't
different
do
ball clubs,
anything.
Tigers. He was a Cubby the 2 years before he got dealt to Texas. 93, he was there from 93 to 94. Went on to play for the Mariners, the Expos, and he retired as a Pirate in 1998.
Sounds like a real loser career.
He currently works in the front office for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yep, keeping it going. Raphael is not looking great tonight. He's taken some mighty cuts and come up short.
I remember being a kid and not knowing how to pronounce his last name. I remember
Palmero?
having, I think they're 92, the Donruss red speckled baseball cards with the black, they're red with the
Um,
script, it was the picture of dipshit McGee, the
yes,
pitcher from
Juan
last week
Gonzalez,
that I put up on
90.
the on the
Oh,
on the
yeah,
the page. Um,
I think it's
I remember
90, isn't it?
seeing
$90.
90. That makes sense. But Rafael Palmeiro had a card in that set, and I remember pronouncing his name Palmiero, and my brother making fun of me.
I don't think it's too far of a stretch. Definitely not something to be made fun of.
My
You probably
brother's
got a
6
lot
years
of
older
other
than me.
things you could pick out.
Yeah, like what?
Uh, the way your face looks when you orgasm. I don't know. Palmera's going deep though.
There you go. You were just saying, not a great game for Palmeiro.
Hey, that's what
Palmiero
sluggers do.
with a dinger.
You know, they take a lot of hacks and they miss and then they connect and go do steroids.
That I believe makes it 3-2 Rangers.
That's Texas Rangers baseball, baby.
28th home
28th.
run of the year.
You see
80 RBI.
the gambler over there on in the dugout, Kenny Rogers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the late 80s, early 90s WCW jobber that
Oh,
looked
the
exactly like
gambler.
Arn
Yeah,
Anderson.
yeah. You know what? This is the, yeah. I might be one of the few men in the world that has talked about the gambler on two separate podcasts within the last couple months. That's might be my only
Look,
first ever.
something to hang your hat on, pal.
We don't always we don't get to pick our destiny, do we?
We really don't. Wesley, bring me my destiny.
Wesley,
That's
it's time to choose your destiny.
that's Lynn Belvedere uh, referred to his left and right testicles as destiny, and
Yes, 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 he did.
big inning for the Texas Rangers. Juan Gonzalez singling out to left center.
Is Don Cooper with the club yet for the next 28 years?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think he's there yet.
Got a conference at the mound, undoubtedly buying some time for the bullpen.
Karkovice, Ozzy, and Alex all having a nice little chat.
I'm sure it's a profound meeting.
Ozzy Gijen.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Guy Jin was interpreting for Cart and Fernandez.
I mean, look, it's like we talked about last week. This guy has been around American ball players for almost 40 years now, and there is absolutely zero difference in the way that he speaks publicly. It is fascinating to me that there's been
You always got to,
no advancement
yeah.
in his ability to speak English in 35 years.
Usually, I mean, it's obviously way different today, but back in this time and stuff, you'd always see regularly, like, not, I mean, maybe not all the time, but it wasn't uncommon to see a catcher and pitcher out there, and you got one of the infielders being the middleman interpreting for the gringo catcher that usually can't speak the language. I'm gonna guess Cart doesn't speak the language. I don't talk that shit. I speak American. You want a sandwich?
I do imagine that Ron Karkovice is an absolute racist. August 4th, 1993. If you weren't in Arlington Ballpark on this particular evening, you might have been at the movie theater. Number 5 at the box office this weekend, Son of a Woman, starring Al Pacino. That's correct. Last Action Hero, which I believe that's Arnold and
Yep.
Tom Arnold, right? Arnold
No, that's
Schwarzenegger and Tom
Jingle All the
Arnold.
Way, isn't it? Is Tom
Oh,
Arnold in the
oh,
Last
oh,
Action
yeah.
Hero?
Oh no, it's what's her name? Uh, Trading
Julio with an RBI
Places.
double, by the way.
There you go. The worm has turned. The Rangers have taken the lead. Cliffhanger in third place with
Mm-hmm.
the only movie from my childhood where the lead character was a badass and named Gabe. Cliffhanger.
Oh,
Uh,
I never saw it.
Jurassic Park number 2. After a long stretch on top, and then number 1 movie of the week, August 4th, 1993, In the Line of Fire.
Wow, I didn't see any of those.
You didn't see Jurassic Park at the movies?
Well, no, not at the movies. No,
Ah, I remember going to the drive-in to see Jurassic Park.
I am in a massive transition in my life at this point. We are. I have zero friends at this time. I had just moved out here.
Mm.
2 months prior, I know no one. I have spent my entire summer inside without cable television, mind you. Um, I'd probably gotten fatter, and I got a lot of baseball cards, I guess, but that was about it. And we're getting ready to start the school year, and it's my first year in a new school in sixth grade, and it's terrifying. So I'm having a good time joining the club of men.
Look, man, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Number 1 song on the radio, August 4th, 1993. This will be fun. I'm going to give you a couple of clues and see if you can guess. All right.
Yeah, this is kind of started to listen to the radio around this time a little bit, so I might
All
be
right.
able to get some of this.
So this band uh, it's an Irish band, right? And both of their number 1 hits in the United States were covers. The first one was a cover of a Bob Marley and the Wailers song. And the second number one hit single from them is a cover of an Elvis song. And that's the number one song in America right now.
An Elvis song, huh?
They are an Irish reggae band.
Julio scores. This is Ace of Base, right?
Nope.
No, they're
It
not Irish.
is UB40. I just
Oh,
can't help
yeah.
falling in love.
Nice
Uh-huh.
man say. Yep, I
That's
know.
it. That's the number one song in America this day. No wonder Nolan Ryan was in a fighting mood.
I remember that. Yep. That was hot.
Number
I'm
one country song in America was Chattahoochee. You remember Chattahoochee?
I do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Jackson got some questions for her, but
Another really, really well groomed and maintained mustache on Alan Jackson.
yeah. It's just the kind of look that's never going to look clean.
Well, here's the question I have for you. Speaking of Alan Jackson, where were you when the world stopped turning that September day?
Uh-huh. This is in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
I didn't know
Uh,
Pittsburgh, Kansas was a place.
it's got a fucking college, man.
Dan Peltier just
Peltier.
drives a triple, and that
Yeah.
scores yet another run for the Rangers.
The floodgates have opened.
5-2 Rangers.
Look, there hasn't been this much moisture in the Dallas, Arlington, Fort Worth area since the Von Erichs were wrestling. From all the wet pussies, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jesus, Tim Raines just almost fell through the barricade. He hit the wall so
he did.
fucking
He went
hard.
through that. You don't see doors like that anymore, do you? I miss those. Remember when guys came out of the bullpen?
I do.
It's not the same. Oh, okay.
Butch Davis in the ball game, pinch running for Peltier.
I can't believe they're
He might
leaving
be Peltier
Fernandez
might be
out
the
there.
MVP of this game thus far. That sack bunt a couple innings ago, followed by that triple that scored one, put them 3 runs ahead. That's done real well for these boys. Mario Diaz up to bat.
You would have
I'm
figured they would
trying to.
have.
Mario Diaz looks like somebody that I can't put my finger on, and I can't quite figure out who he is.
He looks like 78 of these guys with the fucking mustaches. I mean, they all got him. He looks like Palmero. He looks like Terry Bevington. Like, it looks like Kevin Kennedy. Looks like Joey Cora if Joey Cora had a mustache. Like, it's all the same. It's the computers. And we see why Don was a bust. Now he has a brother Ron, right?
I'm now. It sounds vaguely familiar to me. Those are the tall guys with the beards, right?
In
Like
one
big, long,
incarnation,
bushy
yeah.
beards.
Well, yeah. There's the Blue Brothers, yeah.
Jacob and Eli.
Yes. They're also
Mm-hmm.
Creative Control and Skull and Eight Ball, yeah. Ron and Don.
Ron and Don. No, it was
I believe
Patrick and Gerald, if I remember correctly.
yes, as Creative Control. Piz and
Um,
Jizz.
All I can think of is that stupid Jeff Jarrett gif with him patting somebody on the back and giving the thumbs up. So, like, when I think about Ron and Don Harris, even though they have nothing to do with with Jeff Jarrett at all in that moment,
Well, they're linked to him
oh
forever.
yeah,
You know, they were his bodyguards or whatever. Chosen one. Uh oh. That was a
I ought
big
to
inning for
retire
the
the side.
Rangers.
5-2 Texas.
Danny Pasqua is first ball swinging and he pops it
He's
up.
out. Yep.
Mighty Igor or whatever the fuck his name is.
Well, it's an interesting thing, right? Because like Juan Gonzalez, as I mentioned earlier, was leading the league in home runs this year. And the Rangers generally, we talked about it, they made the playoffs, right? They got into the playoffs. No,
No,
they
no,
didn't. No, they
no.
were second place, right, behind the
This
White Sox.
is this is the last year where it's just the division winners make the playoffs.
Right.
They finished second place to the White Sox, about I think 7 games back.
And Nolan Ryan's still in this ball game, by the way. Like, obviously, he's doing a fine job, but managing the game. But you can see how tired he is. Like,
Fucking Alex
there's sweat,
Fernandez is.
sweat forming at the base of his neck, just looking rough.
I mean, yeah, he's 46. It's fucking Texas. It's hot. His electrolytes are need
Why do you
replenished.
insist on making excuses for Nolan fucking Ryan?
I'm just saying, his electrolytes need replenished.
I,
Fernandez is in there for God's sake still.
I would imagine he's not going to come out for the next inning. I don't imagine he will. Maybe he will.
Maybe they don't give a fuck since Gene Lamont's gone. Maybe the bullpen is. Well, they had that big game the night before, so maybe the bullpen's worn out.
I was curious about. We talked about movies and music, so I was curious about television. So I pulled up the top rated television programs in 1993.
Yeah.
Man, if you pay any attention to ratings nowadays and how many households actually watch television, like in the traditional sense, watch television, these numbers absolutely blow you away, right? Um, what do you like? Okay, this list gives the top 30, and really there's more than that because there are a bunch of ties. But the top 30 television programs in America
Ooh.
in 1993. Quite a heater. Diaz really, Jesus, that was crazy.
Some nice glove
Um,
work.
yeah. God, and he beat him by 3 or 4 paces too.
Little pirouette move, as Wimpy calls it.
Well, look,
Nicely
we
done.
discussed Tom's issues earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Anyway, yeah, no. The number 30 ranked rated television show in the United States in 1993 was pulling in a 12.6 rating.
Wow.
Number
Uh,
30.
That's
That's
insane.
and that is Family Matters on ABC.
Shoobity ba 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 da ba da da ba da ba da.
Germane to our interest today. a television program about a family living in the south side of Chicago, very near, by the way, to
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Fathered by
what at the
Carl
time was
Winslow.
New Comiskey Park.
Oh, I said fathered by Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow, correct. Interestingly, I saw pictures this weekend from a show in a fan convention in Florida called 90s Con, and Reginald Vell Johnson, um, whoever the woman was that played his wife,
Uh huh.
and what's his name?
Did I do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve
Urkel.
Urkel, Jaleel White, and the
Yes.
woman who played Lisa. No, not Lisa. Is that her name, Lisa?
Is it the one
Whatever.
that did porn?
Carl's daughter. No, no, the one that Steve Urkel was in love with,
Oh,
Laura,
yes,
Laura
Laura.
Winslow.
Uh huh.
The four of them were there doing meet and greets with fans, and I thought that would have been cool. I would have liked to have met Steve Urkel.
The youngest one
Or
is the one that did the porn.
yes, correct. Or Stefan Urkel.
Oh God, you fucking idiot, Stefan. Jesus, getting
Uh,
getting getting Laura all fucking worked up with Stefan.
hmm
That always bothered me. Like she treats Urkel like shit, but she's sitting there just bending over, spreading her butt cheeks for Stefan.
hmm
Like it's the
Same
same
guy too.
guy.
That's the creepy part.
What does that say about her?
Well, it says that she's a stuck up bitch that only likes guys that don't wear suspenders or glasses. Is what
I
it
think
says about her. I
that's,
mean, if we're going to be
I,
serious here, um,
and we are. You know why? Because family matters.
all right,
You
we
got
about
that?
done here. Uh, very good. It's a rare
Hey, look who's in
condition
the
this
bullpen.
day and age to read any good things on the newspaper page. You know,
Oh, Jesus. Oh, you missed your old familiar friends waiting just around. Am I doing another song? Yeah, that's Full
I think
House.
you are. Um, but they all kind of
Everywhere
sound
you
the same
go.
anyway. Like my favorite was Perfect Strangers, standing tall on the wings
Oh,
of my
yeah.
dreams.
Yeah,
Hmm
that's a good one.
Another
It-
Chicago-based television program, actually, Family Matters, technically a spin-off of Perfect Strangers.
Oh, is Carl from there?
Yep, there's some connective tissue there on the Winslow side.
Huh.
Let's
I
see
would have thought it would have
here.
been like Balky and Urkel were friends.
That would have been a good crossover for sure.
Balky
Balky Bartakamos.
Bartakamos.
Hmm I mean, look, it was a smart way to go for ABC at the time because basically they were just trying to bring back the audience from Taxi, right? Like just random nondescript European accents
Hmm. Yeah.
that make the person doing them sound a little bit
Well,
mentally handicapped.
look. Do you remember Yakov Smirnoff?
Of course.
Night Court. He would be on there. Why? I mean, people like funny voices in the '80s. They thought foreign accents were fucking hilarious. That's what it
It
was.
explains the Rafi phenomenon as well.
Exactly. People.
Mm-hmm.
The stupider people get, the less it takes to make them think something is humorous.
Ring, 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 banana phone. Walked him on four straight. What a
Got a
mess.
banana
This is
phone
getting
over there.
gross. It's getting gross.
Oh, look at that. Did you ever watch this?
No, we didn't have the sports channel. Again, it
Uh,
was that would have been on cable. We didn't have it.
gotcha.
But that background music is giving me all sorts of feelings. Doom
We get,
doom 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 doom
we get,
doom 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 doom.
we're gonna catch up with Jumbo Jimbo Colvert. Bear Great.
Bear Great Jimbo Covert. That's right.
Also at
He's still on
WrestleMania
the
2.
radio in Chicago doing post game analysis on some of the AM stations in Chicago.
He was in WrestleMania 2.
I didn't realize he was on that. He was in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, he's in the Battle Royal. Yep.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize. Gun to your head, between these three sitcoms in 1993, which do you think was the highest rated? Okay. Murphy
Yeah.
Brown, Frasier, Home Improvement.
93. Mm, I would say Frasier gets there, but I'm going to say Home Improvement.
Tim the Cokehead Taylor it's the number 2 ranked rated television show in America in
Yeah.
1993, behind 60 Minutes. So go figure, right? All the old
Yeah.
people watching their Sunday shows. But yeah, number 2 in America, a 20.4 rating on average throughout the year 1993, which, if I'm not mistaken, basically means 20.4% of the televisions that were turned on in America were watching a Home Improvement on a regular basis.
I believe that. That show was hot.
Everybody loves a grunting cokehead.
Yeah, you had a little bit of everything on there for you have Wilson and you get
Wilson.
eh,
Well, I loved Wilson. Wilson was great. You got the cute kid, you know.
oh
These
yeah,
little girls want to
all
watch
the
the cute kid.
shitheads kids. Fuck them. Fuck you,
Danny
Dan.
Pascal really wanted that ball. Man, he slapped his glove on the tarp. Very upset that fan went after that ball and he couldn't get it.
Fucking kid.
It must be really fucking hot because like Rafael Palmeiro looks like he's melting into his uniform.
You know it's a dry heat. Another walk.
Not great. Not great. They got to look to the bullpen here shortly. I would imagine they can't let this go on much further.
Is this Scott Radinsky in?
Yeah, I think it's Scott Radinsky.
Member of 10-Foot Pole.
Oh, there you go, Bobby Thigpen up in the bullpen. I have quite a few Bobby Thigpen baseball cards.
Yeah, he set the save record. I believe 91. And saved like 57 games or something. Not sure why we're bringing Bobby in here. Guess he's not the closer anymore.
I think that game on game 1, I think, depleted both bullpens pretty significantly.
Oh, that's going to
Lost
drop.
his baseball cap there. He ran so hard.
Bases juiced. Literally. Yeah, Julio Franco, Pudge, and Palmero all in the bags.
Tiny little water beds. They aren't bases, just full of juice.
Jackie Brown coming out.
Boy, oh boy. Does Jackie Brown just look like just a baseball grandpa or not? Holy shit.
I think Gene
Like,
Lamont just went and put on another uniform.
he looks like the grandpa who teaches his 6-year-old about why you hit and run in one situation and you swing
Uh huh.
away in another.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you hear Wild Thing playing?
Why
Like
I do hear Wild Thing in the background. Yes.
the not the
Yeah,
major league version.
the thermometer out there, the GTE thermometer says 90 degrees, and it's well after dark,
Oh
so it
yeah,
is disgusting outside.
it's got to be after 9 p.m. local time. You gonna get it done, Pudge? Or you gonna be a bitch?
29 years old, 21 years old. This kid. It's just crazy to see him this early in his career. I don't remember watching him at this point,
He's got a lot of fucking ahead of him.
including a World Series in 2003.
Uh huh. Yeah, and I think he gets back there with the Tigers at least once. '06 doesn't win though because the Cardinals do. So you
Right?
can
Yep.
suck my cock. That was my first World Series I got.
2005 was my only World Series.
Yeah, that happens.
Craig
Craig
Lefferts.
Lefferts.
Nolan Ryan is officially out of the ball game, folks. He's going to go and ride that stationary bike for 45 minutes,
Got to tighten
uh,
it back up,
waiting
Gavers.
waiting for the game to get over with.
Waiting for the ball game to get over so I can take care of my bunghole.
Greg, give me that rosin bag, will you?
Give me my bunghole kit. Craig Lefferts was a very strong runner-up for the Kisser of the Week. I'll have you know that.
Let's get a close up of old Craig Lefferts' face.
Not to be confused with Craig Leathers, by the way.
Okay. Ooh. There's a black and white shot of him in a college uniform, and boy, oh boy, his two front teeth. He looks like his mother fucked uh, a, a a beaver of some size. Like those are some real fucking knock. Jesus Christ Almighty, those are
Oh, I
big teeth.
see. Arizona's own.
That 85 tops Padres card is a real good one too. With his hair coming out the side of that ugly ass crooked billed hat.
I really like his 93 Tops Orioles card where he's just holding the fucking cup while he's got his jacket on.
That's outstanding. That's a real good. He's got a glove in his hand, not on his hand.
Oh, we have a
Is
LinkedIn
leaning
page.
against the fence in the bullpen.
Yeah. He is the rehab coordinator at the Oakland A's. That's Craig Lefferts on his LinkedIn.
Let's see if we can get him on the show.
Here he is. Yeah, pitcher. Looking at all of his experience on LinkedIn, he has listed his pitcher for all the various teams he's played for.
I mean, at least
He
he's not lying on his LinkedIn. That's good.
he was Phi Kappa Psi at the University of Arizona, as well as a College World Series champion in 1980. It is amazing the amount of baseball people that are on LinkedIn. Jesus. What the fuck is going on out there?
I just clearly I just searched for Tom Hankey on LinkedIn.
Sure, yeah.
There is a Tom Hankey that acts as associate athletic field superintendent at Oklahoma State University. I'll have you know.
Can't
Let's
see
see
Tom
here.
leaving Missouri at this time of his life. There's most of these motherfuckers are Oakland A's. Mickey Tettleton, baseball hitting instructor, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I wonder what Mickey Tettleton would do if I hired him to give me hitting instruction. as a 42-year-old man. I tell him, Mickey, I'm gonna try out for one of the ball clubs next year. Will you teach me how to hit? I'll move to
Ah,
Oklahoma.
Chet Kopic reference. Did you catch that?
I
Chet
didn't.
Kopic on the back table at 10 p.m.
Oh,
Chet with Glenn Kozlowski.
Chet is also a WrestleMania 2 alum.
Yes, he is. Yeah, Chet's a Chicago institution again. Chicago seems to love the love hate relationship with their broadcasters because people either love Chet Kopic or hate him.
I
I
can see
think
it.
like Chet Kopic is like the fact that he liked wrestling is no coincidence because he's a Carney's Carney. Chet Kopic is.
Hey, the fields can be fruitful and bountiful in the wrestling industry if the right farmer is tending to the crop.
This has been Tortured Metaphors with Blake and Gabe.
In the land of the blind, the man with one eye sees all.
Father. Um,
Sullivan, my son.
welcome to Oz.
Tell me when. I look back and the monkey's dangling. Dangling by the chain on its neck.
The funny thing about this is it's like the 17 listeners that we have to this show are all going to understand what the fuck we're talking about. But if we ever get any more, no idea. They've completely tuned out at this point.
Oh, welcome to Oz. What the fuck are they? Ozzie Smith? What are those guys talking about?
I thought this was a baseball podcast. What are they talking about the Wizard of Oz for?
These are references that people wouldn't even get on a wrestling podcast, for God's sakes. Like, Jesus Christ. What the fuck are we doing?
Let's go back to Mr. Belvedere and make this attainable for everyone to understand.
Wesley? Where's my bunghole tightener, Wesley?
Do me a favor, call Mr. Ryan. I believe he has my rosin bag.
Call the express, Wesley. There he is. The kisser of the week. The hose.
It's good to see him come into the game. Pretty excited about it. Like the game's all been leading up to this is our time with Mr. Henke at the end of the game here. Very excited to see him come in and close things out.
Oh,
Look at
Bo.
that. We're getting a little bow action on this one. I didn't expect this.
Bo knows. You know, it's a crime that Hanky doesn't enter the game to the Terminator theme.
It really is.
Can you imagine how crazy a stadium would go to that?
I mean, if wrestling's taught us nothing, they should be the ones slamming their hands on the outfield wall to make the noises. Just like that. That's correct. Yes. More. Thank you.
You cannot escape.
Here we go. See if this works.
There it is.
Here's a story I'd like to tell. It starts out tough, but it ends up well. About climbing a ladder and touching every rung. About a Missouri boy born on the farm with a big broad smile and a brawny arm, and over his bed a picture of old Cy Young. Well, at night he'd start to dream about being a pitcher on a big league team, and maybe one day he'd wear a series ring. Well, he practiced hard and he took his licks instead of laying down matters, he was laying down bricks. Then one day the telephone did. Hello? It was Bobby Cox, long distance call. Said, I heard you can really throw the ball. Come on up, Nolan. We can use a kid like you. Well, first thing you know, he's 7-0. The king of the town, he's a local hero. Tommy knew his bricklaying days were through. Terminator. You can bring him in now, but it's even better later. Terminator. Throws it by them, never throws a tater.
He never throws a tater.
Never throws a tater. I never
It's
throw a tater.
the Ballad of Tom Hankey, folks. You can find that, by Googling it, I suppose.
It's out there.
The Ballad of Tom Hankey by the Section 15 Orchestra. Just Google that bad boy and have yourself a load of fun.
1985.
I've not heard much like that.
Terminator. See you later. I'll have the mashed potatoes.
Tom Hankey dealing to Bo Jackson here.
Bo, just a step behind.
That stance, man. That's the one. I loved Frank's stance, and of course Ken Griffey Jr.'s stance, but that bat wiggle that Bo Jackson has, every time I went up to bat, I did that bat wiggle, and it never worked for me because I'm not Bo Jackson.
I always try to bat like Eric Davis.
I think that's a regional thing. You were a Cardinals fan, right?
No, Eric Davis is a Red.
Struck him out.
Yeah.
Eric Davis is a Red, right?
Yeah. He had like this bat thing. It was just really cool looking, and I was a short, fat white kid, and he was a skinny, powerful, lean black man, and it's kind of a thing where it's like, I wish I could do that stuff, but I can't because I'm not fast. I'm not powerful. I'm going to play till I'm about 16 or 17, and that'll be it. Terminator.
Got to figure out a way to talk more about Mr. Belvedere on our podcast, so I'm going to be looking for those openings going forward.
We could just do like a Ask Lynn section or something. Mess for like baseball etiquette, maybe.
My left testicle is named Destiny, and my right testicle is named Triumph.
Would you like
Destiny
to
is considerably larger than Triumph.
You can triumph or meet your destiny this evening. Which would you prefer? I don't give a fuck either way. I'll be coming no matter what. California, Chicago, next Friday.
Not available in all areas. Just be warned.
Such is the future.
Oh boy, the graphics department here really went all out, didn't they? That White Sox baseball and purple letters.
Don't we get to a certain point, and do we really need more in the graphic department? Could we not have focused somewhere else? Those graphics were fine. That could have been fine for the rest of the time. Let's focus on unique and exciting ways to expand our minds and our bodily sensations, and find ways to maximize that. Not worry about graphics. Let's maximize mustaches like Mario Diaz's. Kind of looks like Vince.
Can I ask why the long I on Diaz in the pronunciation there?
It flew out that way.
Oh, okay.
I had no real reason. I noticed it was happening, and I just kept going with it.
Now, here's the burning question that I have about this at bat with Donald Harris.
Yes.
how do we know this isn't his twin brother Ronald? Right? Like, did somebody check his ID on the way to the on deck circle? Because I'm guessing not.
Could be like a Killer Bee situation.
Like, he could be completely fresh, right? Like, he could have just, Don went to the bathroom and Ron came out of the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm. Freshly dosed with PEDs.
Freshly squeezed, correct.
No, it's a very good point. I think you can't put anything past anybody in Arlington. George Bush is at the helm.
I'm certain George W. called down to the clubhouse and said, "Ron, I need you to get ready for the game."
We might need you to stick to that, Ron. Gonna have to
fool me
come
once.
off the bench.
They
got the Keyshin boy, he's really good. Here we go to the 9th.
This is last chance for the White Sox here. Got starting out with Craig Graybeck, and everybody knows that this guy is the secret weapon for the Sox. So let's see what happens here. As Tom Henke tries to close this game out in successful fashion.
Look at the limbs
right there,
Henke.
A little bit outside, but it must have been over the plate. A little high.
Like, the man is long. He's long and strong.
He really is, man. That fluid motion coming off of that mound. My goodness gracious!
Like, is that what you look at? Little Craig Graybeck, and he's got to look out at the mound and see the fucking hose staring back at him, barreling down his ass.
All 77 inches of Tom Henke.
They call him double sevens.
They call him the hose, and
so I'm told.
He wears the number 16. You want to know why he wears the number 16?
Why?
Because his cock is 16 inches long.
I'm noticing a trend here. I think I'm gonna have to be better at these answers in a little bit.
Oh no, okay, no, that wasn't him. He wears the number 50. Do you know why?
He's 50. I was wondering where.
You know why he wears the number 50?
Is his cock 50 inches long? That's pretty long.
No.
Seems almost impossible.
No, his cock is 50 centimeters long, which is approximately 19 and a half inches.
Did you know that math, or did you have to?
No. I just converted it on Google.
Okay.
Huh?
19.7
to be exact.
Look at those shithead kids.
Yeah, that kid. Do you see the underbite? These fucking inbred fucks in Texas. Look, unbelievable. Ugh.
Some assholes, man. Fuck those kids.
Hanky deals.
Just terminate their ass.
Ooh. Low and outside.
That ball.
Yeah, I know. What a dick.
See? Yeah, Sax is a
old
prick,
Saxy. Man. You know why Saxy wears a number 7?
7-inch dick?
No, I didn't know if you knew. I was checking.
No, okay. Yeah. I think he's a
he was
Mickey Mantle fan. Seven. Two down.
outs.
Is the Terminator about to close out?
It's all up to Dan Pasqua and those remarkably good-looking guns of his.
The battle of the frames.
Dan Pasqua and Tom Henke, exact mirror images of each other. Dan Pasqua is actually the bizarro Tom Henke.
This is the finish we need.
Dan Pasqua wears the number 44. Do you know why?
Grew up on Hank Aaron.
No. They just assigned him that number when he came to the club.
Okay, yes, that makes sense.
Ooh, swing and a miss. Boy, he had a lot of confidence swinging that bat, though. I'll tell you that much. We are down to the last strike here for the White Sox. No real big surprise here. We knew what the outcome would be.
I think the hose might give him a fucking splitter here. Oh, high cheese. He's gonna get a splitter
The
in the
hose
dirt.
is about to spray all over Dan Pasqua.
He's no tater.
Ooh,
There it was.
making it interesting.
Good take.
1-2 to Pasqua. A man with a gigantic cock. He pitches it, and that's in the dirt. 2-2.
Tom Hankey is going to go to his locker after this game and drink a bottle of Aquavelva. He's been drinking it for 2 years. He has
his
no
third
idea.
bottle of the day.
That's when his splitter started working.
He's an aquaholic.
When he started drinking the Aquavelva, he could throw a fucking splitter. There it is.
That, my friends, is the
That's
ball
the
game.
ball game.
5-2 Texas Rangers in a pretty pivotal career highlight for Nolan Ryan. The last time he's hit a batter, and I believe the first time he landed 6 shots to the face as well. Get a little bonus action here at the end of the tape with some local broadcasts from Chicago. I believe this is ABC 7.
The Sports Center.
Say again. Oh, this is Sports Center?
Yeah, that was Sports Center. That was what was that guy's fucking name? But yeah, in diapers.
Yep. Ventura was in diapers when. Actually, it was before Ventura was born that Nolan Ryan entered the big leagues. But beggars and choosers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep,
Did you
6
hear
good
that?
punches to the face. No.
You don't charge a man who owns cattle ranches. Big mistake, little doggy.
I told you. I was on the bottom of that pile, mobilized. I couldn't even breathe, Nolan said.
Look at Palmero.
Oh, there you go.
Is.
Here's Dave Winfield.
Yep.
August 4th,
Look at that.
1980.
You ain't fucking with him, man. Look at that. He covered up.
Uh-huh. I'm not going to be passive about it.
I ain't no bitch.
You gotta protect yourself. There you go, blackjack.
Like Ernie Witt.
Fucking Ernie Witt.
Ernie Witt stung that fucking ball. Who's this fucking Phil Brooks?
All you gotta do is look in his eyes.
Just come find me and talk to me if you got a problem.
Tell me what you see.
I see a cattle rancher.
This is third win of the year on this one.
He only got 2 more.
3. Well, that's the whole ball game for this week. We will be back next Friday with yet another big time event in baseball history. Do you know what we're doing yet?
Yeah, I do. You okay, brother? You look like you got startled there for a second.
I did.
I'm fucking dying.
My Alexa,
I gotta watch that back.
My Alexa went off again, and I thought so. It was like So I'm in the what is essentially the dining room, but is my home office, which is in the main living area of the house. And my wife is asleep with the baby in the back bedroom. and I hear a woman's voice, so I thought for sure that I was in trouble because I was being too fucking loud. And so, yeah, I jumped like my skeleton was coming out of my skin.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think we talked about we're actually going to return to Arlington, aren't we? But 6 years
Oh,
prior, as we will visit the 8 home run streak of Donnie Baseball, Mr. Don Mattingly, in July of 1987 when the New York Yankees take on the Texas Rangers as Donnie homers in his 8th straight ball game. So
yeah. When we started talking about who we want to highlight from a personality perspective, near the top of my list was Don Mattingly. Just because when I think of a baseball player, like the prototypical baseball player, immediately what comes to mind is Don Mattingly. And so it'll be fun to talk through it, whether real or imagined, what his history is in Major League Baseball, and we'll do it all right here next week. Where are we going to do it, Blake?
the whole ball game.